Let's get this going. Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com, the Seattle Sports app, the podcast platforms, YouTube, and 97.3 HD2. I've been talking so much about YouTube recently. I feel like I've not spent enough time reminding everybody that 97.3 HD2 is my favorite way to listen to the station. That's how I do it. That's how I listen when I'm driving in, when I'm going home, when I'm driving the kids around, whatever. 97.3 HD2 sounds good, man. Sounds like crystal clear, high-definition radio. It is perfect. So if you're in the car and you're local here in Seattle area, try that, 97.3 HD2. If you can figure out how to use your car's HD radio. It's very complex. I don't know. I don't get it. Every car is different, but if you spend like a moment or two, you can figure it out, and then you end up just making it a preset, and then you don't have to worry about it again. Every time you click on it, you just get the crystal clear high-definition radio, which is great. Sounds really good. You ever do that, Lyle? Use high-definition radio in your car?
I can't say I have.
No? How old's your car?
It's not old, but
All right.
I guess I just use the normal station.
You just listen on 710?
Yeah.
You know what you
Get
should
up
do?
on YouTube.
Yeah. You should switch to 97.3 HD2. You know why? It sounds about 1 million times better. It really does.
Okay.
Like, you should try it. I got a little homework assignment for you, Lyle. Just see if you can get it to work, and then report back. You can do it in the parking lot or whatever.
More is right. I'll watch a lot of stuff on YouTube. Shocker.
But while you're driving?
Well, no.
Right. So this is for driving only. Yeah, no, this is a driving thing.
Since he looks the things he needs to learn up on YouTube, he can look up how to use 97.3.
What kind of car? What kind of car are you driving these days?
Hyundai?
A Hyundai? I like that. Well, Hyundai, you can definitely figure it out. Is it a touchscreen?
Yeah.
Oh, you can get that done with a touchscreen. It's probably got a little HD button. You just click the little HD. It'll give you like 1, 2, and 3, and then you just go to 2. And here you go, high definition radio, and then you make it a preset. You don't even have to worry again. I can't believe I have to be here to explain all these things to people. Anyway, you can try that, or YouTube, Lyle. I know it's a little bit more up your alley. How are we feeling today? How are we feeling leading into what should and could be the best Mariner sports weekend, the best Seattle sports weekend certainly in 3 years, right? I mean, certainly since they were in the postseason a few years ago and everything. I mean, definitely been the best weekend since then. But I would think that some of the hope around this team, this Mariner team, combined with some of the recent success of the Seahawks, puts this in a more hopeful spot, a more exciting moment than at any point in that season. Plus, the Mariners are hosting 2 games guaranteed over the weekend. That is happening. There's no doubt. I mean, you can, if you are a non-division winner, if you're one of the last 2 wild card teams. So let me see if I understand this right, Lyle. Wild card round, home team hosts all 3 games, right? Which is still really weird to me, but I get it. They don't want teams flying back and forth after just 1 game. So, okay, home team hosts all 3 games. Then, if you win that series, if you were the road team and you find a way to win that series, you then go on the road for the next 2 games, right? So, in theory, you could be a team that wins its first, let's say, 2 out of its first 3, right? You advance, and then lose 2 on the road and 1 at home. You could play 6 games in the postseason and only play 1 home game. It's pretty crazy. I'm sorry, you could play 6 games in the postseason and only 1 of them would be a home game.
Basically what happened to the Mariners in 22. They played 5, only got 1 home game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. So obviously that could happen again to somebody. And yeah, I would say you're in an awesome position, right? Where you know you're going to host those 2 games. You can plan and prepare for a full weekend at T-Mobile Park. I still don't know the times, and we're not going to know them for a little while. But I think, Lyle, you're likely right that they probably end up getting the noon time slot both days, Saturday and Sunday. I wish that they could move that Sunday game later, but all right, whatever. So you end up with the noon spot both days. How do you feel about like day playoff games versus nighttime playoff games?
I always think nighttime games adds more drama.
Me
but
too.
Again, if 50,000 people are going to sell out T-Mobile Park, I think a sellout's going to be a sellout. It'll be cool no matter what.
There's still just something weird to me about a day playoff game. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. And you can certainly, I mean, obviously the shadows creep in and that becomes part of the story, although a noon game be a little bit better than like a 4 o'clock game or something like that. But yeah, I something about the nighttime, the buzz of the crowd, no pun intended, or maybe some pun intended. Like there is just something to me about that primetime atmosphere that makes it even better. We'll discuss a little bit more. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's playoff baseball in Seattle, and it's just going to be the second postseason game that's been held here in 25 years, essentially. It's just crazy. So I would imagine that crowd is going to be amped to a factor of God knows what. I mean, it is going to be loud. It is going to have that playoff buzz. There's very few things in the world that compare with the environment and the energy around playoff baseball, and the opportunity to have it here is just great. And the fact that that's going to be going on while the Seahawks are getting ready to host another 3-1 team in the Bucs that's played pretty well. And I think there's an interesting Sam Darnold juxtaposition with Baker Mayfield, who I think you guys know I'm a big fan of. I think Baker's a really good player. And wanted him here a couple of years ago, and he's turned himself into a really, really good quarterback in the meantime. And Sam has been really good, and I got some numbers coming up a little bit later today. Man, I was in the dark places of the internet yesterday. I was in deep, dark places, the dark web. I was out there. I mean, not really. I was just on Twitter, but I found a couple of charts for you guys, a couple of graphs that we're going to discuss at 7:30 today. I've got sound that more when I spend some time, we can't even decipher who created this. It's, again, deep, dark web. God knows where it came from. But there's some very, very interesting Seahawks conversation to happen today as well. I do have some bad news, though. Today's been mostly good news, and I'm sorry to bring you guys down on what is generally a great day. Jeff Passan's not here today. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Yeah, but he's going to be on closer to the playoff game,
which is better. So it's bad news, but it's still got some good news attached to it. So Jeff is moving to Thursday this week. So he couldn't do today. Makes sense with 4 postseason games happening today and tomorrow. The odds are there will not be 4 on Thursday, and so Jeff will join us. We may even know the Mariner opponent by then. If one of these two teams sweeps the first 2 games, we'll know who the Mariners are playing, and we can start to talk about that with Jeff on Thursday. And maybe he'll know where he's going this weekend. Maybe Jeff will even be here this weekend. We don't know. So that will be a conversation. We can do that with Jeff on Thursday. But magnanimous as we are, we wanted to make sure we, made up for that. So we're going to talk to Jason Benetti, Brock's former partner, at, 8:30 today in Jeff's spot. And Benetti's perfect because he called Tigers games all year long. So he's got a really good sense of the Tigers, and he's also a pretty honest guy. So I think he can tell us a lot about the Guardians as well. Obviously, they battled, 12 times, 13 times over the course of the season. He had a front row seat for the Tiger collapse and exactly what the Guardians did down the stretch. So we'll talk to Benetti just after 8:30. We'll have Daniel Jeremiah today at 9:30. So we're talking a lot of football. I will say today's hard. Like, I could spend all day talking Mariners, and I could spend all day talking Seahawks. I think there's enough interesting content about both teams today that I could spend all 4 hours on either one of them. So let's do this. Take a little pause. We'll come back. I'll give you guys everything you need to know. We're going to go around the station at 6:30 and bounce back and forth between some Seahawks stuff and some Mariners stuff and some projections. And then Brock will be in at 7, and we'll kind of take it from there. All right? And Lyle will go out later to his car and figure out how to use 97.3 HD2. It'll be a win for everybody. Give you everything you need to know next on your home for the playoff-bound Mariners, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
It's been 24 years since
the 2001 Western Division champions.
Mariners Nation, you've earned this banner.
There's no better feeling than this. We work so hard each day.
With a first-round bye in the bag, what's ahead for the AL West champion Mariners in the postseason?
It's a lot of great things ahead. I can feel it.
SeattleSports.com has the latest on the scenarios.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
This is where you hear your AL West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
When the heat's in 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net. Get end-of-season savings of 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump while supplies last at Day and Night.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump, plus no payments or interest for a year OAC. Call for details.
Dayandnight.net. Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This March, Wendy's is fueling the madness with amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it.
Get it for $1. Dave's single, order in the app. Dave's single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S. and Alaska.
Too many breakup songs getting you down? Put a little bossa nova in the playlist. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Get a good-to-go pass to save $2 every time you use it, and on other toll roads in Washington.
Paying extra for tire care is BS. You know, bad service. So at Midas, we're rolling out our BS-free tire guarantee, included with paid installation and tax on every purchase. You'll pay nothing for flat replacements, nada for flat repairs, and zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles. That's $0 for all that. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the BS-free tire guarantee, only at Midas.
This one's for the flavor fanatics. Sour Apple 5-Hour Energy Shots don't mess around. They bring the bite. Tart, tangy, and packed with tasty caffeine, this little 2-ounce bottle punches above its weight. With 0 sugar and as much caffeine as a 12-ounce premium cup of coffee, it's the kind of pick-me-up that keeps your taste buds happy without the crash. And it doesn't stop at Sour Apple. There are 17 bold flavors waiting for you to discover. Pick one up in store or stock up online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon today.
Your home for baseball's postseason and your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
After years of wear and tear, Joe had osteoarthritis in his wrists and shoulders.
I've pretty much worked out my whole life. I actually decided I'm going to train for a half Ironman triathlon.
The pain was interfering with every part of his life.
Basically, can't sleep, causing those kind of problems, very limited movement.
Joe had surgery, but it wasn't the fix he was looking for.
The doctor told me, he's like, hey, this is just going to be a partial fix. You're going to eventually need joint replacement.
That's when he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
And they're just getting better. I can basically do full motion. I don't have really any pain.
What kinds of things are you able to do now that you weren't before?
I like to golf, and it definitely has made my golf game not as painful. And sleeping. I'm sleeping better because I don't have that aching at night going on and having to roll over.
So, are you recommending this to others?
Oh, everybody I talk to. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
When your outside matches how you feel on the inside, that's kindness. And so I think that is the one thing that the Lee Johnson Auto family encourages us, is to be really authentic and really be intentional in how we treat our customers and how we treat each other.
To have a good company, have a good culture, have a good
crew that takes care of your customer base. You have to take care of your crew. You can't have miserable people and expect them to give a customer a good experience.
Walking in here, meeting some of the employees already before I was even hired on, welcoming me in, gave me a good indication what this company was all about. So if I were to make an hour and a half drive here and to have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
It's not a script. It's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, who's ready? Lyle, are you ready? You ready for a full day of postseason baseball today? All 4 wild card round series start, this morning. The first game is at 10 o'clock. Obviously, the one of most interest, Detroit and Cleveland, and that will be game number 1. Tariq Skubal and Gavin Williams will be your starters in that one. Then you got Padres Cubs at noon. Nick Pivetta and old friend Matthew Boyd is starting game 1 of the postseason.
Oh, he's been really good.
I know, but isn't that just, when you hear that, like, whoa. That guy was here as like a borderline end of like low leverage reliever, use him in bulk if you have to, and he's worked his way back. Really, really cool for a local guy. Red Sox, Yankees, prime East Coast spot, 3 o'clock here. Garrett Crochet and Max Fried. And then the Dodgers host the Reds in the late game. Blake Snell, another local product, and Hunter Green. How about that? 2 of the 8 pitchers pitching today. Quarter of the pitchers are Seattle kids.
And he might not be from Seattle, but Tarek Skubal's Seattle U.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, so 3/8. That's pretty remarkable, the number of Seattle connections just in today's game. So, yeah, it should be pretty cool. Who do you want to play? Tigers, Guardians, John Morosi joining Wyman and Bob yesterday.
Right now, the Tigers are the better team on paper. They're the more complete team. The Guardians, their run is unbelievable. They are the deserving AL Central champions after a run for the ages. However, I do think that Skubal, the left-handed presence that he brings, I think Mize is a very solid too. I just think that the Tigers lineup 1 through 9 is a little bit deeper, and the Guardians, you're right. I love Stephen Kwan. I also think the best player, the best all-around player in this series between Detroit and Cleveland is Jose Ramirez. I just think that in a postseason situation, you do utilize more of the full 1 through 9, and then you get into the bullpen and the Tigers, for all their flaws, I think that with the additional days of rest, it gives A.J. Hinch some different options to potentially utilize the rest of his bullpen in different ways.
Yeah, all right. So we'll see. As I've said a few times, I'm not necessarily concerned one way or another. You play whoever you play, and I'm not sure it's that big a difference. Do you want to face Skubal? No. But do you want to face Jose Ramirez the whole time? No. I mean, like, both teams have good players, and Cleveland's been a lot hotter, and Detroit has a lot more lefties, right? And Detroit has been, a really good team for the last year and a half, but you had their number this year, and they've been ice cold for the last month. So, yeah, we'll see what happens and kind of sit here and wait and rest along the way. And the Mariners have some of their own decisions to make, how they're going to figure out the back of their starting rotation and some of how they use the bullpen. Bryce Miller, are you going to use him in the pen? He was asked if that's a possibility.
Not really. Just kind of, be ready to go early in the series, and if it's out of the bullpen, be ready to go. I've pitched out of the bullpen, most of my college career, so I don't think I'll have any issue, getting ready and being able to do that. So, but no, I'll be ready, however they want me to. Just, getting the opportunity to pitch in the postseason will be fun, and just to go out and help us win, that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, I love the way he phrases all of that. By the way, quick positive note for Major League Baseball. Attendance has increased now for the 3rd straight season. First time that's happened in 18 years.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Pair of Monday Night Football games last night. Turns out battle of 0-3 teams was actually the more interesting matchup, which is kind of strange, but it was. Dolphins beat the Jets despite being outrushed and outthrown, but 3 fumbles certainly changed the game. Bit of a Pyrrhic victory, though, for Miami. Tyreek Hill dislocated his knee and tore multiple ligaments, including the ACL. Is going to miss the rest of this season, maybe even the start of next season. More, I know you and I were both really, really bummed out to see that Tyreek Hill suffered that injury. Broncos buried the Bengals 28-3. So what happens now? Is Cincy going to sell? Like, they don't have a quarterback. They're heading in the wrong direction.
You just can't stop thinking about Trey Hendricks.
No, well, Brock got me thinking about it again yesterday. So I don't know what happens there. And from the Broncos' perspective, maybe they're turning themselves into a decent football team.
I think it's got to start with his quarterback, but the ground game. And I think, those two go hand in hand. We just heard an interview with Lisa and Bo Nix. I don't know if it's aired yet or not, but he talked about that. And the defense. I mean, the defense is so good.
That's Joe Buck, of course, talking about what the Broncos do well. I don't know if it's even aired yet. That way, Joe. That way, get after it. Let's see. Seahawks move up to number 9 in ESPN's power rankings. Pretty big jump. 5 spots up from number 14 last week. And, yeah, they are in a really good spot. Mike McDonald loves it.
I think we're in a cool spot because we figured out a way to win games. And we also feel like we have a lot of room for growth, and I think the guys feel the same way. So there's urgency there to go keep attacking, keep figuring out ways to get better, improve on the things and the mentality that we have throughout games. And it's exciting. It's exciting to have room for growth and also have some wins in the win column.
He's very excited. I think you can tell. He's not also worried about potentially having to move the game time. So it looks, again, we don't know. It does feel like the Mariners are going to play at noon both Saturday and Sunday. Of course, Seahawks are supposed to play at 1 o'clock, only an hour later. So the thought is that they would move that game an hour or two even later, so it starts near the end of the Mariner game. I guess in theory that helps. I don't see it, but Mike McDonald's not too worried.
From what I understand, it's not that big of a move, so we would just adjust our morning schedule accordingly. It's really no big deal. It's actually kind of great that we're going to be forced to move. I think that's it's awesome for our city, and it's going to be a really exciting Sunday.
I think all of those things are true. I just hope they're able to work out what that looks like in Soto.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Another preseason game, another loss for the Kraken last night. This one in a shootout, 2-1. Berkeley Catton with the lone goal. Made a series of cuts this past weekend. No major surprises. I think what's probably most interesting was who was not sent down, and specifically Berkeley Catton, just to come back to him. He's played well. Number 8 pick, if you don't remember, in the 2024 draft. He's only 19, so NHL rules are kind of funky. He can't go to Coachella to the AHL. So he either needs to spend another year in juniors, where he dominated last year, or stick with the NHL club. I think he's going to stick, just a gut feeling. Capo out for the first month of the season, so he and Ryan Winterton both have a chance, really, to make this team out of camp. That is everything you need to know, 1:15 here on the Brock and Salk Show. Yeah, we watched him play the other day. He is quick, really good playmaker, great vision. I don't know. Again, you're sort of waiting for somebody to step up and be the star for this team. Matty Benier's really good, not necessarily that star factor. Maybe it'll be Berkeley Catton. We'll find out if he's able to. I'm probably not at 19, but start to show some of it if he's up with the NHL team this season. All right. I got so much sound. More. Today is like a day for the sound hound. And Maura, I should point out, if she clicks on her mic, if you're watching on YouTube, Maura's wearing the Champions hat today.
Our friend Kevin Martinez brought some gear by yesterday. It's like a little more of what, like maybe a trucker style on top.
It's got a little
I was trying to see if
action.
I could pull it off. But yeah, I like them. I like the look. G put it on yesterday too.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's the thing that's always funny to me about like stops along the way hats is like either in a week they're either like, I don't want to show that because the team lost. Never mind. Or it's like, well, now I have a, AL champion hat or a World Series champion hat, and I got to get rid of this one. So it's good. It looks good, though. And it goes with the badass jacket that Maura's wearing today. She's got her tough guy jacket on.
You're always fascinated by it.
I love when Maura brings out the leather jacket. Yeah, you always know that, like, she's going to come out and drop some knowledge or something. She's got her leather jacket on. She's pretty tough. She did a great job pulling a ton of sound for today, and I want to make sure we hit on it because there's some really good Mariner and Seahawk conversations born out of some of what was said yesterday on the station. So we'll go through it together. Next, it's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710, and you're home for the playoff-bound Mariners.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside. Charbonnet, he's going to go! Touchdown! home! Seahawks!
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. It's going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
This college football moment is brought to you by Serve Pro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State. With 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
Serve Pro. Like it never even happened.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends. And explore the lively nightlife scene. The dining district at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafi from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Toyota of Renton is in the playoff chase with game-winning deals on your next ride. Score a 36-month lease on the Tacoma at $279 a month with $39.99 due at signing. The RAV4 leasing at $299 a month with $39.99 due at signing. Drive smarter with the all-hybrid Camry leasing as low as $299 a month or the Corolla from just $219. Whether you're gearing up for the fall or chasing savings, Toyota of Renton is the place to go. Visit toyotaofrenton.com and get in the playoff chase today. Offers valid through September 30th, 2025. Excludes tax, title, license, dealer accessories, and $200 negotiable documentation fee. Model 7540-4432-2559-1852.
Hey man, gaining weight, low energy, lost drive? It could be your testosterone. Revive Men's Health Washington helps men get their edge back. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations.
When men start treatment, it's not just their labs that change. You see it in their posture, their energy, and how they walk into the room. That's why I do what I do.
Call 206-529-1111 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 206-529-1111. Or schedule anytime at revivemenshealth.com.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow Stolen Voices of Dole Valley now, so you don't miss an episode.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
Yeah, we'll be rewinding to yesterday and a whole bunch of sound from across the station. We didn't have a big interview yesterday. It was just G. I couldn't play you G a second time. That didn't feel right. So we'll.
Oh.
I mean, I love G, but I think he's going to be on Friday also. Like, we don't need 3 Gs in 1 week. That's entirely too much. Nobody should be forced to deal with that. I'm impressed that actually got a bunch of Kraken texts coming through after just a quick Kraken conversation there. 509 says Catton's the most talented player. He may be. 425 says Kraken lost, but Johnny and Edzo were 99 out of 10. 100% right. Or maybe 199% right. You couldn't be more right. They are phenomenal, man. John Ford. We got to get John on soon. I know that we're so busy with Seahawks and Mariners stuff, but God, I love talking to Forsland. And then how about this one, Maura? How great would this be? 206 saying Matty B's going to pull a Cal this year and become a star. Matty Beniers.
I mean, I would love that.
I would too. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if I'd be putting money down on that, but man, that would be great. And this is so nice. Someone says, is there anything Maura wears that she can't pull off? That's nice.
Oh. Thank you.
You're pulling off the hat, I think, for the most part.
For the most part.
For the most part. I mean, like, I don't know if that's like your standard look, but like.
No, I do. I usually do more of I think they call them the dad caps.
Like you like kind of the soft cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Heather's
I like
the same way.
Curve the brim.
Yeah.
Instead of the flat.
Yeah. Yeah. That flat's no good. I'm out on the flat. Yeah. That's a no thank you. All right.
I think that's a millennial view, or I
think it's even lower than that. I think it's even younger than
I don't think Gen
millennial.
Zers like curving the brim of their hat, do they, Lyle?
It depends. I honestly think there's people that wear a lot of those dad hats these days.
Okay.
Those have kind of come back in.
That's
I'm not
good
a
to
hat wearer, but when I was in middle school, I owned a lot of the flat brim hats.
That was just a couple of years ago.
I guess I didn't realize I've never seen you in a hat. Salk's not a big hat guy either.
Well, I will wear hats on the weekends. I don't like wearing a hat here to work because I don't like the hat with the headphones. I find the hat and headphone combination to be very very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't wear them either. I wore them more back in middle school and then just kind of grew out of the phase.
Yeah, high school and college, all hats every day. That's all we did. Nonstop hats. All right, you want to hear what was said yesterday on the station? You don't want to hear hat talk, fashion talk from me, Lyle, and Maura? No? Weird. All right, let's start Seahawks, but we're going to bounce back and forth. I'll start with our buddy Brady Henderson, who yesterday was asked about Sam and Gino and whether the Seahawks are enjoying the way that has gone so far to start the year.
If you judge this quarterback swap that the Seahawks made in trading Geno Smith and signing Sam Darnold to replace him, you know, Darnold does not have to be better than Geno Smith for that swap to be a win for the Seahawks. When you consider that they got 7 years younger, they got $4 million per year cheaper when you compare the two contracts that those guys got, and they picked up a third-round pick in the process. So if Sam Darnold is merely as good as Geno Smith is or would. It's kind of hard to project how Geno would be in this offense, but if he gives you just the same level of play, that's a win because you picked up those other things. And so the fact that he is outplaying Geno Smith, again, it's hard to know how Geno would be playing in this system, but the fact of the matter is Darnold's playing really well. So that trade looks like an unequivocal, or that swap, I should say, looks like an unequivocal win so far.
So I understand Brady's point, and I think my fondness for Brady is well known, but I'm going to disagree with this a little bit, just a little. I understand the concept he's kind of pushing here, like, hey, if it's a wash, then the Seahawks win. And in some regards, he's right. For me, it would at that point be more about like, well, if it's a wash, then move on from both of them at the end of the year and just kind of find yourself your next quarterback. And they may end up doing that anyway. They may be drafting a quarterback this year either way. We'll see how that goes. But I think it was important for Darnold to be better than Geno, not just to be cheaper and younger. Geno never won a playoff game here. Right? I mean, you can talk about value all day, and value is important. Don't get me wrong, especially in a salary cap world. Value is incredibly important in football. But the goal is still to win, and to win playoff games, and to go deep into the playoffs, and ultimately to win a Super Bowl. I'm here for championships. And just being as good as Geno, that's not a championship level. That's okay. You're seeing this year that Geno's really struggling to start the year. His team is 1-3, and he's thrown 7 picks to lead the league. So I understand Brady's point. Like, you could justify the move if he does nothing more than just play at Geno's level. But in order to bring this team to a point where they're, contenders, and certainly enough to win playoff games, you got to play better than that. And the cool news is, he has so far, and we got some charts to prove it coming up in about an hour. I'll run through some of that at 7:30. This Seahawks passing game all of a sudden is pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. So I get Brady's point. I'm going to disagree with it a little bit. I think Darnold needs to be better than Geno, and the good news is through 4 games, he's been much better than Geno. Certainly better than Geno is this year, and I would argue better than we saw from Geno at any point, any 4-game stretch that I remember during his time here with the Seahawks. Now, I'm biased. I was not a big Geno fan. But to be fair, I was never necessarily a huge Sam Darnold fan. I'm enjoying what he's doing so far. He's winning me over. I think he's been really good. First game, would have loved to have seen what would have happened if he doesn't fumble on that play. If they come back and end up winning that game, how differently are you looking at everything right now? Seahawks would be 4-0. Instead of talking about them as, what did we say, 9th in ESPN's power rankings? What are they if they find a way to win that game and come back late against San Francisco, which was like totally possible if he doesn't end up with, the fumble in that moment? Maybe it's his fault. Maybe it's Abe Lucas's fault, whatever. Are they a top 5, 6 team? That's crazy considering there were people talking about how the Seahawks were going to be in line for the number 1 pick at the end of the year.
Or if Reek Wallen just knocks that ball down the drive before.
That too.
And my thing is, even though they've looked pretty good so far and they've won some of these games, I just see so many opportunities for growth, things that they can clean up that I think by next month, they're going to be a lot more intimidating.
Because let's be clear, Maura, and you're absolutely right, both of you, they haven't run the ball well at all. They have not run the ball well, and that's supposed to be who they are. And Brady talked about that with Bump and Stacy as well.
They've shown the ability, as you said, to be explosive. I think they have 7 plays that have gained over 15 yards in the run game. Obviously, one was the big Sam Darnold scramble the other night, but they've shown that they can pick up some nice yardage. They also have 33 rushing plays, a league high 33 rushing plays that have either gained no yards or lost yardage. And so you just have a lot of plays that never get off the ground. And it's kind of hard to fathom how both of those things can be true, but I think it's just a matter of they're not really consistently doing it.
All right, and I don't know the reason for all of that. I mean, some of that I think is kind of who the Ken Walker experience has been, a little bit boom or bust. Some of it was the number of carries given to Zach Charbonnet in the, second game of the year, where he was very ineffective and having a lot of difficulty running with the toe or foot injury, whatever it is he was dealing with. So, you can probably try to make excuses and try to explain some of that away, but Brady's right. I mean, the numbers are where they are through 4 games, almost a quarter of the season. Great with explosive plays in the running game, not great at consistency, which is something we thought they were going to really need. If they ever get that, good luck, man. If they could ever find some of that consistency in the running game, man, we're going to be having some pretty fun conversations. So good stuff from Brady as we go around the station from yesterday. I'll bounce from football to baseball, and we'll go to our friend Ryan Rowland-Smith, who is on, as always, with the afternoon guys, Wyman and Bob, and he gave his X factor for this lineup in the postseason.
I'm going to go Polanco, man. I tell you why, because you are going to face really good pitching in the playoffs, especially if you're talking round 1 and then round 2 and so on. He's a guy that has really good, especially the last couple of months, he's been really good in 2-strike counts and really good against plus pitching. Like if you look at his numbers, the contact rate and the lack of swing and miss in two-strike counts in the last 4 to 6 weeks, man, it is off the charts. He's one of the best in the game. Plus, he's got that gap and home run threat. Polanco, to me, is going to play a huge role.
I can't disagree with one word of that. Can't disagree with one word. It's an interesting question. Who is your X factor for the postseason? It's interesting to me because I think that there's no wrong answer to it. If any 1 or 2 players get super hot or really struggles, I mean, Gino Suarez could hit 3 home runs in a postseason series and win you the series. Julio Rodriguez could combo of speed, defense, getting on base, and home run power dominate a series to the point where you don't need any other X factors. It's just nonstop Julio driving you insane. He could also go, 0 for 10 with 7 strikeouts. Like, you could have an argument for, I would think, Cal could hit 6 home runs in a 5-game series. He's done it before, right? So to guess, to name an X factor, to me is a guess rather than a statement. But I love what Ryan does there and the way he explains it. And every word he says is 100% accurate. And I would even add to it, because again, I think it's really well stated. There just seems, just from a non-statistical, just watching the games, correlation between when Polanco plays well and when the Mariners play well. There's just a correlation between them. He turns this lineup into something deeper. He is a guy who will drive in those runs with the gap-to-gap power that Ryan mentions. And more than anything else, he does seem to be, along with Naylor, the 2 guys in this lineup who will just give you a consistent, just nasty at bat, just grinding it out. And so I love it. It's a great answer from Ryan, as good as any other. I think you could make a case for almost everyone on the roster, almost, not everyone, but almost, as an X factor. But it's a really good point he makes there on Polanco. And then you kind of get into, all right, how are you going to use Polanco? You want him to DH? You can. Then put either Robles or Canzone in right field, and then you're probably looking at playing Leo Rivas at second base. Or do you want him to play second, which is a little bit of a risk, and then you get Robles in right, and now you can put Canzone at DH and probably a little bit more offense? What do? I think that's one of the decisions Dan and crew will have to make. Jason Churchill on yesterday with Bump and Stacy talked through that.
They know Polanco. Polanco knows himself. I think they'll be careful. But again, in the postseason, you do have one advantage, just like with the bullpen. You get that day off in between. You get that travel. You play a couple, you get a day off. You play a couple, you get a day off. You may get rest in between. That's certainly going to help them. But I'm a big advocate of starting your offensive team and then going defense late. And I think you do that more often in the postseason. If you're up 4-1, just for example, you're not going to win a lot of games 10-2 in the postseason. But if you're up 4-1, it's the 8th inning, and Polanco just batted in the 8th. He should not be out there for the bottom of the inning and for the next inning, right? Like there are a couple of opportunities to go out, depending on who started games, maybe Dom Canzone and right in certain matchups, where you just go to the defensive guy. And I think with Polanco, that can help, trip up and kind of cut off some of those things you might ask him to do that might wear him down, that might actually get him hurt.
I tend to agree with all of that. I would prefer not to see Dom Canzone much in right field during the postseason. I would like to see him DHing against righties, which puts Polanco into second base. I'm fine with that, and I think Jason's absolutely right. You've got to be able to have someone who comes off the bench at the end of the game just to make darn sure that there is not a disaster scenario where you have a problem defensively at a key position at second base. And we've seen teams do this before, and Moore and I will probably both point to the same team. Another curse-breaking, record-breaking team, the 2004 Red Sox, and I know we're running out of people that can even remember 2004. It's going back so long. But if you do remember that team at all, they took out their first and second baseman at the end of every game. Every game. Like, oh, it's the end and we got a lead. Bring in Doug Mankiewicz to play first, which is why he had the baseball after the final out of the 04 World Series, and bring in Pokey Reese to play second. Yeah, sorry, Mark Bellhorn and Kevin Millar. You're going to hit the bench at the end of games because you're a defensive liability.
They learning from the 86 team that didn't put Stapleton in the game?
Yes, 100%. Yes. Now, that was because supposedly John McNamara wanted to give Bill Buckner an opportunity to be on the field at the end of the game. He sure gave him the opportunity. Dear Lord, what a mess. Yeah, Stapleton was in there at the end of the ALCS. He oddly caught the final out of the 86 ALCS. After the Donnie Moore and all that, the final out of that game, of that series, was a foul ball pop-up to first base that Stapleton caught and started jumping up and down like a madman. Yeah, sure could have used him in Game 6 of the World Series that year. Didn't work out so well. All right. I'm with Jason, though. I think that's the way to go. I think you want to see one of those guys come in late and play some defense. Let's see. Where should we go? You want to talk more Mariners or see? Let's bounce back and forth. We'll do another quick Seahawks one. This wasn't on the station, but I like it anyway, and then I'll come back to something else from Ryan. This is from Ryan Clark on NFL Live, and he was one of more. How many cuts do you think you found yesterday of national pundits all of a sudden waking up and being like, hey, the Seahawks are good?
Yeah, well, I went to YouTube, and sometimes you punch in Seahawks and there's like nothing new, and it was just like Rich Eisen, Colin Cowherd, Dan Orlovsky, Ryan Clark.
Wow.
Everyone talking them up.
Everybody wanted to talk Seahawks yesterday. So I'll play Ryan Clark. It could be any one of those guys, but we'll use him as kind of a stand-in for any of those conversations.
This front four has absolutely gotten after the quarterback, starting with Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams, and last night, Nwosu putting pressure on Kyler Murray. And when I look at this safety duo of Kobe Bryant and Julian Love, to me, they're the new Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. They're underrated. They're not talked about as much as some of the other bigger names, but they consistently make plays and they feed off of one another so well. And then Ernest Jones anchors everything in the middle of the field. When they get back Nick Emanwari, who's the rookie who was going to start at nickel, I'll be interested to see what Mike McDonald does with him, because Mike McDonald is showing me week in and week out, he's truly a defensive genius with the simulated pressures, the disguises, adding one and running fire zones, man-to-man zero on the back end. They're so creative because they're so talented. Can I ask?
All right. Well, so there's a lot in there in just 50 seconds or so. Let's start at the end, and then we can work our way back. Let's start with, is Mike McDonald a defensive genius? It's kind of starting to feel that way, right? And in order to get that moniker, you've got to look at the full picture. You can't just look at what he's doing here in Seattle. You also have to look at what's happening with the Baltimore Ravens, whose defense is a mess since he left. They haven't had that many other changes to the defense. They've lost some personnel, but they're the Ravens. Like, they've always kind of been pretty steady Eddie on defense. They lost Mike McDonald, and they're not the same. That's pretty obvious. Meanwhile, he's come here and taken a defense that had all kinds of problems in the few years before he got here and made it elite. And I don't think he's got elite talent on that defense. He's got good talent. I was just
going to say, you've questioned that. I think Leonard Williams might be the one.
He is the. I mean, there's no doubt. Leonard Williams is awesome.
Witherspoon has that potential, but hasn't maybe quite gotten to
I'm
that
not
level
putting
yet.
him in any sort of elite category.
So yeah, I think that's to me where you have to go. I think that's why Belichick got a lot of credit over the years. He had a lot of defenses they won Super Bowls with that were really good.
Yep.
But most people couldn't name a lot of the guys on them.
I think that's a great point, and people are going to start getting mad if we keep referencing the early 2000s in Boston. But you're right; it's a really good comp. Who's elite on this team? I think you're right. I think that Leonard Williams is there, and that's why I gave the homework assignment on Friday. And thank you to everybody who completed it. We should be talking about him even more. Other than that, I could probably name you like 8 guys that I think are really good, but not quite in the elite category. And that's not a shot at any of them. At this stage in his career, I think Jaron Reed's really good. At this stage in his career, I think Byron Murphy's good to really good. At this stage in their career, I think your guys on the edge are all in that good to really good category.
I don't know if Julian Love is elite, but I think he's one of the best safeties in the league.
I think he's super smart. I think he's a really good player. I don't know if I can call him elite. Elite is talking about like the guys that are the absolute best, that everybody's got a game plan for them. He's smart. He's perfect for this defense. And I think Mike McDonald's getting a lot out of him. But elite? Certainly nobody on the outside. I don't think Devin Witherspoon has shown that yet. Obviously, Reek Woolen's trade bait. Josh Job's a guy who they've made better and better. And then at linebacker, I mean, Tyrese Knight and Drake. Brock always forgets his name too. Drake Thomas. Thank you. I always want to call him Drake London, but I know
Knight
it's not
seems
that.
like a little on the outs.
Barely playing.
Yeah.
And Ernest Jones is on his third team. Good player, maybe even really good, but elite. I mean, you go through that defense, there's not a lot of elite, but there is an awful lot of productivity.
I'd say I'd say Devin Witherspoon's really good. Maybe not elite, but he's really good.
I'm with you. Really good.
I think he still has the potential to get to elite as this defense grows. And then we haven't even seen Eman Mori really yet.
You gotta if you're Devin Witherspoon, you gotta take the ball away a little bit more if you want to be elite. You gotta just make more plays in the passing game to be considered elite. Really good, right there with you. And I think that's what's so special. It does also, I think, lead into that next question of what happens if you were to add one more elite player to this defense? What does it do? And that is why I'm not going to give up on Trey Hendrickson. And when Brock said yesterday, what if you could trade Reek for Trey straight up? Well, yeah, for like just the rest of this year.
I don't understand why they would do that.
I mean, they're bad.
You think you can get more out of Woolen?
They're not just bad. They're getting their effort questioned. It looks like the team's
I understand Hendrickson's older, but Reek has just
I think it's that
his play has been declining.
I think it's that both guys aren't going to get re-signed in all likelihood at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And so maybe they get a chance to like look at Reek and see if that's a player they want and get something back. I would think you would still need to include some sort of a draft pick with that, but fine. If that gives you an opportunity to go after it, and certainly if DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be hurt, we'll find out more later today or tomorrow. Like, yeah, that sounds great. I'm super, super involved because I love what you're doing defensively. But if you could add that one player that comes in and doesn't just get near the quarterback, but actually sacks the quarterback, look, that's a game changer. That's how you end some of these games against better competition later in the season. And I'm here for that. That's how you ended up getting Leonard Williams. And I'd be perfectly happy to try to get Trey Hendrickson the same way. All right, we got just 2 minutes. Let me see if I can grab one more cut here because I want to play you this sound from Ryan Rowland-Smith. We talked through the offense and his X factor. He also gave his thoughts on what a starting rotation should look like in the postseason.
I'm going Logan Gilbert game 1. I trust him.
Yeah.
It's just swing and miss city.
Yep.
And he may go 5 because he's throwing 120 pitches. But I'm going to say, if I'm Dan Wilson in that situation, Logan Gilbert, I'm going to make him grind through some of these innings. He's going to be long at-bats. We've seen that. That's fine. But I'm not giving in where I'm giving up a 3-run bomb or a double with 2 guys on. I'm going Logan Gilbert game 1, and then I'm going Brian Wu game 2.
So I think that was what we thought was most likely, or maybe going Wu and then Logan before you ended up with this injury situation, and before you knew for sure that you were going to be playing the first 2 games at home. I guess I'm with you on Logan. I don't know whether I'm sure Brian Wu is starting game 2 just because of the potential injury factor, and he may need an extra couple of days. And if you can give him those extra couple of days, and then you have him waiting in the wings for a possible game 3 on the road. Yeah, I have no problem starting either Kirby or Castillo. I don't know which one it is right now. I'd probably lean towards the veteran in Castillo, but Kirby or Castillo at home in game 2 sounds pretty good to me. All right, we could do that all day. There's so much good stuff, and make sure you go back and find the either the YouTube or the podcast or whatever you want from both Bump and Stacy or Wyman and Bob. The whole station's just been on fire here with so much going on in Seattle sports between the Mariners and the Seahawks and everything else. I found myself thinking back upon this Mariners season yesterday, and I thought I had what were the 5 biggest moments of the season. But I think maybe there's 3 more, and I'm not really sure how to put it all together. It's next on Brock and Salk.
The Mike McDonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
How good was Sam Darnold last night?
Oh, he was great. He's awesome, man. He's great. He just so poised, accurate, competes, tough. great decisions. I mean, I think the cool thing right now that showed up last couple of games is he's ripped it when it's there, and when it's not, he's taking care of the ball. And that's big time, because you live to fight another day, and he's awesome.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Paying extra for tire care is BS. You know, bad service. So at Midas, we're rolling out our BS-free tire guarantee, included with paid installation and tax on every purchase. You'll pay nothing for flat replacements, nada for flat repairs, and zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles. That's $0 for all that. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the BS-free tire guarantee, only at Midas.
This one's for the flavor fanatics. Sour Apple 5-Hour Energy Shots don't mess around. They bring the bite. tart, tangy, and packed with tasty caffeine, this little 2-ounce bottle punches above its weight. With 0 sugar and as much caffeine as a 12-ounce premium cup of coffee, it's the kind of pick-me-up that keeps your taste buds happy without the crash. And it doesn't stop at Sour Apple. There are 17 bold flavors waiting for you to discover. Pick one up in store or stock up online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon today.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get his freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to see you on manager.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Oh, this is so fun, man. Just so fun. Just nonstop cool conversations to be had about both teams in town right now. Seahawks and Mariners, and the Seahawks 3-1, Mariners heading to the postseason as division champions, waiting as the postseason kicks off today. First pitch a little after 10 o'clock in the Guardians Tigers series, which of course is the one we will be watching most closely. Brock will be with us here in just a minute, having a little technical glitch, which will get Brock to us. Oh, in fact, we have Brock here. Good morning, Brock.
Good morning, Michael. How we doing there, boss man?
We're so good, like as good as it gets today. Don't you think?
No, Saturday I think will be as good as it gets.
All right, but like as good, like I'm pretty happy. Saturday starts to bring in some anxiety. Today is just totally free and clear, man. Free and easy.
The Lion doesn't have anxiety, Saul. Come on,
true.
you know that.
That's
you taught
true.
all of us that.
That's a good point, Brock. Yeah.
No, I know today is like your
Free and clear, man. Free and
today's
easy.
like your January 1st. For those of us who grew up on college football, there was never January 1st was the day. It was the Blue Bonnet Bowl had passed. You wake up, it's the Peach Bowl, it's the Fiesta Bowl, it's the Sugar Bowl, and of course the granddaddy of them all in the afternoon. So it's just one of those days that's just iconic. And I think for baseball fans now with the additional wild cards, you kind of get that today. Or it's the first day of March Madness. Yeah, it's all day.
It is pretty cool. It starts at 10. It goes until tonight. You get the same thing tomorrow as well. Both days are just going to be full-on baseball celebrations, and baseball's in a good place. I mean, attendance up now for the third year in a row. That hasn't happened in 15 years. So, yeah, some pretty cool stuff for baseball right now. I found myself thinking back upon the season that the Mariners had and trying to come up with like the 5 biggest moments. Somewhere in the back of my head was probably this like weird. Remember when MTV used to have like a good MTV news thing with Kurt Loder? And Kurt Loder was like a really good documentarian, and I'm a big fan of that guy.
My parents didn't let me watch it.
That makes sense. But at the end of the 90s, they did a little thing called like the 9 days that rock the 90s. And they were like just 9 seminal moments. Everything from, the release of Nirvana Nevermind and Beck's Loser, like all these things that helped define a generation of music. And it always stuck with me because it's just really professional and well done. Anyway, this is not that. This is kind of half-assed and off the cuff. But I've got 5 moments that somewhat, I think changed the trajectory of this Mariners season. And I think there's probably 2 or 3 more that maybe should be on here. So I'm very open to some additions or trend or
yeah,
just
because I think I
changes.
got one for you.
Okay. So here were the 5 I had. Number 5 was actually not this season. I was going back before the season, but the drafting on July 13th, 2021 of Brian Wu in the 6th round. It had an enormous effect on this season. You are nowhere if Brian Wu doesn't have his star turn this year, and that is such an incredible accomplishment of this entire front office. Getting that guy in that round after what he did or didn't do in college, that to me was number 5.
I know you're not a baseball draft, Nick, like we are NFL draft guys, but it feels like there's less and less like late round guys, and not that 6th is
late
the 20th
round
or
studs.
30. Yes,
Yeah. You can
most
still
of
get
those guys are picked up in the first 3 rounds.
It does feel that way. I don't know that I have like the numbers to back it up, but I would agree with you.
All right.
Number 4, June 9th. Designating Leody Taveras for assignment and recalling Dom Canzone, who would go on to be arguably your second best hitter from that point on.
Highest average, second best OPS on the team.
It's crazy. Now he gets to do
You're
it.
only 300 hitter, Salk. You're only 300
He
hitter.
gets to do it at the bottom of the lineup, and there's some advantages that come from that, and he was put into good spots, only hitting against righties for the most part. But that changed the way this team was going, right? I mean, it's not like on that day they took off. But as they learned that Dom Canzone had turned himself into a major leaguer and not just a 4A player, I don't know how you avoid his contribution to the lineup this year and just how long he ended up making it.
Yep.
So I got that at number 4. At number 3, I got them trade for Josh Naylor. And look, you could put Gino in here as well, and we'll talk through that one as maybe an extra. I went with Naylor just because of how good he's been on the field and just the edge that he's brought the team. And that was the beginning of the trading season and showed that they were serious. And it wasn't for another week before they ended up getting Gino. And I just... The town has fallen in love with Josh Naylor. So I'm going to put that number 3. Number 2 was September 6th. Julio hits 2 home runs in Atlanta to start the streak.
That was a Saturday, right?
That was the Saturday game
After the
2
brutal
in
road
Atlanta.
Trip where they went 3 and whatever.
Yep. And then blew it the night
brutal
before.
road trip. Yep.
His first home run gave him a 2-0 lead. His second home run put them up 4-2. They had lost 6 of 7 before that. He had 3 hits in the game, including the 4 RBIs. He was kind of just a force, and it just seemed to break whatever negativity was around the team and just get them moving in the right direction. I use that moment kind of to stand for everything Julio did in the second half of this year, but that day was like the day Julio decided to take over, and they needed it. And it did seem to kind of give them that confidence back.
That was September what?
6th.
6th, okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then number 1 for me is Cal signing his deal at the beginning of the year, because without it, I don't know whether you get everything that you got from Cal.
Make good. Look at you trying to make
I
good.
blew it. I said early.
Maybe you didn't make your intriguing list, but doggone it, he's going to make
number one now.
One list somewhere.
Damn
yes.
sure. Yeah, Cal signing number 1. I just it just set the stage for everything else that was to occur. And again, that's sort of like the one moment that sums up everything else. If I said earlier that, like, you know, the release of Nevermind sort of stands for the beginning of the grunge era and the end of the hairband era and everything else that changed on the radio on that at that time. It wasn't like the only thing. It wasn't just Nirvana, but that day that Cal signs stands for everything else that Cal did for this team this year. Mm-hmm. And so I have that at number 1. You could honorable mention Polanco. You could, signing and everything that he did this year. You could honorable mention the trade for Gino Suarez, which, again, Lyle, I think you got it right. Told this team we're serious and we're trying to go as hard as we can at trying to bring the right people in. But those would be my 5. I would go with the drafting of Brian Wu, calling up Canzone over Taveras, trading for Josh Naylor, Julio's big 2 home run day, and Cal signing his contract.
Okay. I think I'd have to add one more somewhere in there, and this is really because of Shannon and some of her instincts and what she shared with us a few weeks back that got a little bit of short shrift at the time, but I believe then it would have been September 4th.
Yep.
If the 6th was the Saturday that Julio exploded, she really pointed to September 4th because Dan's got all this grace, because Dan Wilson had all this patience, because Dan, was just steady Eddie throughout. But it was September 4th that there was a team meeting, and she said at that time it was fairly significant. And when Dad finally speaks, maybe Dad's a very patient dad or Grandpa's a very patient grandpa, but eventually when Grandpa or Dad finally speak and say, hey, enough's enough, it's, time is dwindling and everything we have is still in front of us. We can achieve all of our goals. We can still win the American League West, but boys, it's time to get this thing going.
So I agree with that, Brock. I think I kind of use the Julio home run day as in the same vein, right? When everything started to turn around.
Because that was the walk. That was the talk was the 4th,
right.
But the walk was the 6th.
Exactly. Like it didn't work for 2 days.
Right.
And then eventually it started to take hold and you got to go out and actually do it on a baseball field. Just talking about it doesn't get it done.
The player meetings, team meetings, things like that typically go one of 2 ways.
Yep.
I mean, they kind of do over the course of my career and watching all of this. Like, yeah, it can actually be a bonding moment where you do clear the air and you do just kind of all grab the oars together, or it can be one of those, this is dumb.
We missing anything?
You have half the guys in the back of the room.
We missing any?
Well, I'm waiting for Brock to say how the Etsy witch is number 1 on his list.
Brock's very nervous about the Etsy witch.
What happened? What happened?
Well,
did she ride off with the monkeys when the Dodgers came to town? Where did she go? Where did she ride off to?
They won, what, 17 of 18 before that? Before they started arresting all their guys?
Well, the Cheetos, the mustache.
Yeah.
Sure.
Some other suggestions. The Robles catch. Honestly, Salk, no Robles Superman catch. Huge. I mean, it's a big moment. Don't get me wrong. I think the other 5 were bigger, just over the course of the impact on the whole season. That was a great moment, but I don't know if it was among the 5 biggest moments. By the way, if somebody could, what about the day they put Randy at leadoff? Yeah, that was right after the Geno trade and kind of changed the way their lineup would function for the last third of the season. That's a big one. I would agree with that. I mean, look, there's a bunch. There's a lot of stuff they did, calling up Cole Young when they did and kind of getting what they did from him. Same with Ben Williamson. There's a lot of big moments. I couldn't come up with like one Brian Wu moment, which is why I went with his being drafted. But if you've got one, like, I'm open to it. I couldn't come up with one off the top of my head.
Well, and there were like 25 consecutive starts of 6
Right.
innings, so it was just kind of a machine.
Yeah, like it wasn't like one Brian Wu moment. It was just like, oh, there's 6 innings, 1 run. Oh, there's 7 innings, 1 run. Oh, there's 6 and 2, 6 and 2, 6 and 2, 6 and a third and 2. So
There's 8 and a third no-hit innings in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how there was.
Was that the biggest moment of the year, Lyle, when it all fell apart for them?
Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah. I think that Geno trade is a bigger deal than you personally gave it on your list. And there's no numbers with this one statistically to back up that trade, but I just think it did more than tell the team that they were serious about winning, which it did. But you just felt this seismic shift in the entire city, at least to me, when they traded back for Geno. If they had only traded for Naylor, I think a lot of people, me included, would have sat here and said it wasn't enough. When they traded for Geno, even on our own show, you could just feel the vibe of the Mariners.
I know, it's so cool.
change.
You didn't give up on the Mariners once after. Oh, wait. Yes, you did.
No.
Like 2 or 3 more times.
No.
So I don't know if the confidence lasted long enough for me to put that in the top 5, Lyle, but appreciate it. That's a good argument. We'll come right back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. And then Brock, I'm going dark web at 7:30. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
It's been 24 years since
The 2001 Western Division champions.
Mariners Nation, you've earned this banner.
There's no better feeling than this. You know, we work so hard each day.
With a first-round bye in the bag. What's ahead for the AL West champion Mariners in the postseason?
It's a lot of great things ahead. I can feel it.
SeattleSports.com has the latest on the scenarios.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
This is where you hear your AL West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Hey, man. Gaining weight? Low energy? Lost drive? It could be your testosterone. Revive Men's Health Washington helps men get their edge back. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations.
When men start treatment, it's not just their labs that change. You see it in their posture, their energy, and how they walk into the room. That's why I do what I do.
Call 206-529-1111 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 206-529-1111. Or schedule anytime at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When the heat's an 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
DayandNight.net. Get end-of-season savings of 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump while supplies last at Day and Night.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump, plus no payments or interest for a year OAC. Call for details.
DayandNight.net.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time.
JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow Stolen Voices of Dole Valley now, so you don't miss an episode.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at PCF Construction. You know, it was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, PCFgroup.com.
Love and respect aren't just policies. They're what make the Lee Johnson Auto family feel like home.
The best managers are really good observers and communicators. Listen to your team, whatever they have to say, even if it's right, wrong, or indifferent. For me, that's kind of everything. I like to have my team feel like they're part of something. They can contribute to the growth of this place.
The Lee Johnson culture to me is empowering all of your employees to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
For me personally, it started with Brett and Todd. They identified, what their core values were about, and in turn that drew people with similar core values to them. It's why my dad wanted to come back here. When he got to a certain point in his career that just the paycheck and the financial statements were not fulfilling enough for him, he wanted to get back to where it was a family.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, Brock, you said it. Who's ready? Big day. Baseball from 10 o'clock on. It's going to be a ton of fun. All 4 wild card round series start today. Game 1 will be the one that's of most interest here. Detroit in Cleveland. First pitch just after 10. Scooble, Gavin Williams, Seattle fans hoping for lots of extra innings, right? A long series, beat each other up as they will sit and wait for the winner. John Morosi asked yesterday, who's most dangerous?
Right now, the Tigers are the better team on paper. They're the more complete team. The Guardians, their run is unbelievable. They are the deserving AL Central champions after a run for the ages. However, I do think that Scooble, the left-handed presence that he brings, I think Mize is a very solid too. I just think that the Tigers lineup 1 through 9 is a little bit deeper, and the Guardians, you're right. I love Stephen Kwan. I also think the best player, the best all-around player in this series between Detroit and Cleveland is Jose Ramirez. I just think that in a postseason situation, you do utilize more of the full 1 through 9, and then you get into the bullpen and the Tigers, for all their flaws, I think that with the additional days of rest, it gives A.J. Hinch some different options to potentially utilize the rest of his bullpen in different ways.
Yeah, and you mentioned attendance being up, Salk. Ratings all over the place, up as well across the country, and yeah, quite a bonanza today. That's the starter, the appetizer, and then we get Daniel Jeremiah's Padres in Chicago with the Cubbies. I mean, you're talking big time markets. You got Boston and New York.
Matthew Boyd starting Game 1 for the Cubs.
Love it.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, Red Sox, Yankees, Garrett Crochet and Max Fried, and then Dodgers,
Mets
Reds.
And Mets, Dodgers.
Yeah, I don't think the Mets are in this one. I think that's going to be the Reds, Tito and the Reds,
Biggest
Blake
markets,
Snell,
Mets, Dodgers.
and Hunter Green. How about 2 local products and a Seattle U guy all starting Game 1 of the playoffs? 3 of the 8 starters with Seattle ties.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
2 Monday Night Football games last night. It turns out, Brock, the battle of 0-3 teams was more interesting as they got after it. Dolphins end up beating the Jets despite being outrushed and outthrown. But they had 3 fumble recoveries, and that's going to make a really, really big difference. Justin Fields on his team being 0-4.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating for sure.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if we look at it from a far perspective, you know, we have 3 games that are lost by 1 score. And this is kind of how this league works.
Yeah, no kidding. Like that's it. Yeah, that. Not his fault that the guy fumbled on the goal line earlier, and you know some of the other problems the Jets had. But yeah, they lose, and the Dolphins, a bit of a Pyrrhic victory as they lose Tyreek Hill for, well, at least the rest of this season and maybe into next year as well. Broncos buried the Bengals 28-3. Sounds like the Bengals basically quit, Brock. No effort, no nothing.
Just no chance. O-line was terrible. Denver's got a really good D. Denver's got a front a lot like Seattle's that can just get after you and shut down a game. And Bo Nick's a career night. Nice to see him get going. By the way, Lyle, you remember the movie The Program where Cain is Abel?
He does not know.
Lyle, you remember that movie, right? The Program? Nice 90s college football movie.
I don't have the slightest clue what that is.
You remember the linebacker in it, Salky? Remember his leg was backwards?
Mac?
Yeah, Mac's leg was basically Tyreek Hill last night.
Ugh, terrible. Except Mac is a really sympathetic character, and you felt really bad for him. And in Tyreek Hill's case, I don't feel bad at all. Like, not even a little bit. I hope he suffers, and I hope he's in some level of pain, like the pain that he's caused to plenty of women all around him. So, yeah, don't feel bad at all. Not even a little. Mac made me cry. Tyreek Hill is a total jerk. So, yeah, don't really feel like a whole lot of anything for him. Since he continues to struggle, though, Brock, you said it yesterday, could they end up making a trade? Tyreek Hill, Reek Woolen, rather.
Did you watch Hendrickson last night?
No,
did you have an eye to him last night?
I didn't get to watch that game. Was he good?
He was okay.
Right.
He was okay.
A lot of people interested in Reek, maybe? They asked Mike McDonald about it.
Well, I think if teams are interested in our players, it means we got good players. So I love having great players.
That's a good answer. He seems to have enough of them. Seahawks move up to number 9, Brock, in ESPN's power rankings. A big jump from 14 last week.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Kraken lost last night in a shootout, 2-1. Berkeley Catton with the lone goal. Remember that name, Brock, because they made a bunch of cuts this past weekend. No major surprises, but what's interesting is really that Catton was still there. Number 8 pick. Berkeley Catton. Number 8 pick in the draft 2 years ago, 2024.
Oh, yeah.
19 years old.
Yeah.
So because it's weird kind of the way the NHL works. He's 19, so he's too young to go to the AHL and Coachella.
Okay.
So they can't send him to Coachella. Your choices with him are either to keep him on the NHL roster or to send him back to juniors, which he's already dominated.
Right.
I think he's probably going to end up staying, and he is creative, and he's an interesting little player, and especially with Capo Caco out for the first month of the season, you got a little possibility.
What happened to Caco?
He broke his wrist, broke his hand. Yeah, it's a bummer. That's everything you need to know. Quarter past every hour.
Berkeley Catton.
Here on the Brock and Salk Show. Yep, Berkeley Catton.
Sounds more like a country club name than a hockey name, doesn't it? Berkeley?
Yeah, Berkeley does, but there's no E in it. It's just Berkly.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. He sounds Canadian.
He's from Saskatoon.
Yeah.
Canada.
I don't think there's too many country clubs in Saskatoon. That's kind of what I get from him. Plus, I saw him the other day. He looks Canadian. Everything about him looks like a young Canadian hockey player.
You know what? Honestly, Lyle, I know we've gotten away because baseball season just, caught a fire and the Seahawks and everything just rolling. We got away from your kind of cultural education. You would enjoy the program.
Would he?
I think he would enjoy the program.
What part?
Yeah. Just kind of, he's an ASU guy. It's got a little ASU.
You think there's enough similarity there?
I know it's down south. It was filmed at the University of South Carolina.
Is that true?
Oh yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, between the hedges there at University of South Carolina.
Well, is it almost time for Lyle's lessons again?
I thought Between the Hedges was at.
They're all between the hedges down there. Salk, Auburn.
There's just
Georgia,
hedges everywhere?
Yeah, there's hedges everywhere down south. Yes.
I should have known.
Yes.
My bad. I don't think I realized
Well, now
that.
you do know.
Okay,
Now
well,
you do
thank
know.
you, Brock. Today's been educational. Well, maybe I could have learned this yesterday. I spent time on the dark web. Well, not really. More just like some random places on
What
Twitter.
does that mean?
Don't
What's
worry,
that
Brock.
even mean?
Dark web. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Bump and Stacy.
The Seahawks are 3-1.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
This defense looks amazing. I know that they did not continue that streak of holding opponents to 17 or fewer, but they held them to 20. And importantly, essentially the Cardinals had 1-2 solid drives the entire game, like objectively good drives. The rest of it, they were completely shut down.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710. Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, luxury awaits. It's Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Book now for an unforgettable experience. My gosh, the new place is so nice. I love the hotel. The whole pool area, indoor, outdoor, even as the weather starts to turn. Don't worry. Still great to use that pool. Same with the new sports bar, indoor, outdoor concept with 66 televisions. Great spot to go watch the game, especially postseason games coming up this weekend. Go to snocasino.com for more. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we perform an 18-point maintenance check with every oil change to help make sure you're good to go.
And?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Huh. Wonder why the dealership isn't that easy.
Well, we'd let you know if we found something in our check.
Oh, great. That was easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, thorough, and honest, come with no charge.
Progressive's Teen Driver discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's Teen Driver discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them. Endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
This March, Wendy's is fueling the madness with amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it. Get it for $1. Dave's single, order in the app. Dave's single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S. and Alaska.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course. And it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown, Seahawks! Ken Walker III. Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
When the weather changes, your home shouldn't be the one left unprepared. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. We offer the strongest solutions in roofing, siding, decking, windows, and gutters, made for the Pacific Northwest. And right now, get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 24 months or up to $3,000 off your next project. No gimmicks, no stress, just reliability you can count on. Visit stateroofing.com or call 866-ROOF-ROOF to schedule your free estimate today.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Toyota of Renton is in the playoff chase with game-winning deals on your next ride. Score a 36-month lease on the Tacoma at $279 a month with $39.99 due at signing. The RAV4 leasing at $299 a month with $39.99 due at signing. Drive smarter with the all-hybrid Camry leasing as low as $299 a month or the Corolla from just $219. Whether you're gearing up for the fall or chasing savings, Toyota of Renton is the place to go. Visit toyotaofrenton.com and get in the playoff chase today. Offers valid through September 30th, 2025. Excludes tax, title, license, dealer accessories, and $200 negotiable documentation fee. Model 7540-4432-2559-1852.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I don't know about this. 206 saying the craziest thing that's happened this year is you, Mike Salk, becoming a positive person. It's beautiful, man. I don't think I'm any more or less positive now than I've ever been.
Yeah, no,
I've always
I'd
just
agree with
been a
that.
realist.
No, I'd agree with that very much.
Do you think
it had
that
to be the 425? 425?
No, that's 206.
206.
Do you think
yeah.
do you think I've become a positive person this
so
year?
positive. Oh, Salk, so positive.
This is really
On
odd
the
text.
air, off the air.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't really know what to make of that.
Curran would for sure say, "Oh yeah, he's calmed down a lot."
I don't know whether anybody would say. I feel like, if anything, I was more positive the last couple of years than I was this year. But all right, hey, whatever works for you, man. And people seem to, hear what they want to hear. I spent some time yesterday, Brock, on the dark reaches of the internet, the dark web. All right, not really, just on Twitter, but finding some accounts that I don't always necessarily see. And it led to some, I think, fairly interesting. I got 2 charts and some sound for you. 2 charts and a video. Okay.
Oh, here come the glasses.
The glasses got to come out because the charts are a little small.
Sine, cosine, cosine, sine.
So the first chart is from Kevin Cole, who we actually had on this show a while back before the draft, as he was talking about the amount of value, the surplus value. Remember that?
Yeah.
Really smart guy. And this is not necessarily a complex chart, but it is, I think, a very telling one. It's quarterback. It's a way of looking at quarterback play. And it's got 2 axes. On the left is the EPA per play. That's the expected points added, so an efficiency stat. And on the right are Pro Football Focus offensive grades. Okay? So you're looking at how you...
So the x-axis and y-axis.
Yes. One is EPA per play. The other is your grades from Pro Football Focus. And when you look at the 2 of them together, because obviously it's a left to right rising curve and rising line. Number 1 is Sam Darnold. Number 1. Now, he's not number 1 total, right? And he's not number 1 in both categories. He is behind Love and Josh Allen, and looks like Daniel Jones, maybe even Drake May, and maybe Jared Goff. It's a little hard to tell. in the EPA per play, but he's right there with all of them. And then in Pro Football Focus grades, he's, I think, right there with Dak Prescott and Matt Stafford, and those three really stand above before you get to Allen and Love. But you make a case that he's number one, that he's the top guy, that while he's, not number one necessarily in either category, he's number one overall. And when you look at both the stats and the grades, he's playing as good a quarterback as anybody is right now.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about him, thinking through that a little bit, you sent that to us last night. I didn't want to get on the dark web, but I appreciated you going there and sending us these pieces of data. I felt like Sam would be one that'd be easy to grade, if that makes any sense to you. He's fairly blacksmith-ish. There is some artistry. He's made some terrific plays, escaping and getting out of and wiggling out of. But just the timing, the feet, the precision, the progression, right? He's one that for these football, and most, from what I understand, most of these PFF guys are former players or former coaches. So there's a great familiarity, I think, when you watch him to, there's stick. Oh, yeah, there's, there's White Cross. Oh, there's him doing that. Oh, and look at his feet and his eyes. He's just very to the book. Textbook.
Yeah, and if that
right
was
now
the
through
only
4 games, and that's not a negative. It's
No.
this is the way it's supposed to
I
look.
think the fact that he's also doing it statistically, it balances some of that out. Yeah, Brady kind of was on yesterday with Bumpin' States. He's like, yeah, whatever, Pro Football Focus. I don't need you.
I mean, and you don't need PFF to know that Sam Darnold is playing pretty well, even though he's not exactly lighting up the stat sheet. But I think he is operating that offense exactly how they want him to be. And I think quarterbacks in this kind of offense, if you look at Brock Purdy, the 49ers don't ask Brock Purdy to throw 3 touchdowns and 300 yards every week. You want to sort of be the point guard, and I think Darnold is doing that. He's a guy who's distributing, spreading the ball around, getting them in the right play for the most part, and making plays when he has to. I think that the thing that has surprised me with Sam Darnold is I didn't know from before the season, the limited times I'd watched him, I didn't know that he had this amount of playmaking in him, meaning like the ability to escape pressure and not just avoid sacks, but create big plays after doing that.
But in 4 games, how many times has he done that? 4 or 5? Right? It's the exact opposite, Salk, of 10, 12 years ago with Russell Wilson, who, all of the analysts and people were just like, oh, he can't play on schedule. Can't play on schedule. He's just on the playground. Your buddy Scott Zolak, he's not even a quarterback. Well, he did it differently. He did it his way. Sam does it on schedule. And then to Brady's point, 3, 4 times, 5 times in these games where you have to make somebody miss, where you have to extend a play, where you've got to put it on the dot 50 yards down the field. The guy through 4 games has been incredibly sharp.
By the way, just for fun, the bottom of that list, Cam Ward really at the very, very bottom. Joe Flacco there as well. Jake Browning, Tua Tagovailoa, excuse me, Bo Nix. Yeah.
Those 2 improved last night. Where's Geno?
You would think.
Geno's got to be down there somewhere.
Geno's kind of middle ground, but a little lower. Russ was actually just ahead of Geno before he got benched. So, all right. That was number 1. The second chart, and I don't know this one. This is from Justice Mosqueda. This is another way of looking at passing game success in the NFL. And it's something called ANY/A. And essentially, it is passing yards minus sack yards plus passing touchdowns weighted by 20 minus interceptions weighted by 45 divided by pass attempts plus sacks. I'm not going to try and read all that to you again, but I'll read you the next line where it says why? Because it turns passing efficiency into plus or minus yards. It's more highly correlated to wins than passer rating is. So it's just a new way of looking at passer rating for a team over the course of a season.
Which does a cool job of taking in sacks, it sounds like.
Sounds like sacks, and it looks at everything. And through 4 games, the Seahawks are number 1.
Yeah.
Number 1. And at both offense and defense, by the way. This is looking at the 2 things together, what their offense does and what their defense does. Meaning they are combined number 1 passing and against the pass total. They're the top team. How about that?
Yeah. Did we talk about this yesterday? I did a few things yesterday. So I think this was on a different show. I talked about, back in the day, Salk, because we were growing up, the back of a baseball card was what? batting average, home run, RBI. Right? I mean, those were kind of the metrics, and you look through those optics and judged your players for years and years and years and years. And now, kind of OPS or OPS plus, WRC plus, some of these things have become much more common nomenclature. You know, growing up, it was like completion percentage, a little bit of yards, but completion percentage, and then really touchdowns to interceptions, right, for a lot of years. I'm almost to the point where I'm putting sacks on that list, because sacks are so detrimental. I think what that formula takes into account are, I'm not saying sacks are quite to the point of interceptions, but they're getting there. Like, you take a 5 or 8 yard sack, that drive's dead. You're punting the ball. It's like almost feels like a giveaway. It's so hard to convert 3rd and 8+ in the league. So, you know, when you do get a sack and you do put a team behind the chains, it almost feels like a quasi turnover.
Let me tell you how good the Seahawks have been defensively against the pass, Brock.
Do you agree with that or no?
I do. I do.
No, that's fine.
I do. And I'm trying to get through all this because I got one more thing I want to get to. Yes, I agree.
All right.
They get a 342 here. I don't know exactly what that number means, but just for context, the Jaguars were at 301. No one else was above. Well, there's only one other team above 150. Like, that's how much better the Seahawks are defensively.
Wow.
Than anyone else. After them, it's the Jaguars and Chargers, and then no one else is close. And they are the only team above 200 in both of the two categories, offense and defense. They finished at 589. The next highest was the Packers at 425. So, like, that's just how good they've been.
They're not getting sacked. They're sacking the
pass.
quarterback. They're, taking care of the ball. They're throwing touchdowns. They're not giving up a ton of them. So, yeah, I think a lot of that makes sense. Can I just say, too?
Yeah.
Not even on the dark web, Salk. Our buddy Hawk Blogger had a very simple number, and that is 4.48 yards per play. The Seahawks are giving up. The only time that number was ever in that stratosphere, or the opposite of that, low sphere, was the 2013 Seahawks championship team.
Wow.
It was 4.42. That's it. So whatever formulas you want to look at, whatever next level stats, whatever simple stats you want to look at. Yeah, these Seahawks through 4 weeks, offensively and defensively, playing really, really well.
And yet, they may be doing it with one hand tied behind their back, because this also comes from, I think, started on TikTok, but ends up on Twitter, which is where I finally saw it. This is and I don't know who this is from, but if you watch the whole thing, you can really see it. This is a Twitter breakdown or a TikTok breakdown of Anthony Bradford and what he's done so far in the year. This is how it starts.
I think I found the worst offensive lineman in the NFL, and no, he doesn't play for the Bengals. It's Seahawks right guard Anthony Bradford. This guy pulls up to the stadium every Sunday ready for 60 minutes of shenanigans, acting like he's contributing by throwing his body at Calais Campbell and missing.
It goes on from there for like another couple of minutes of just play after play where he just highlights Bradford doing either nothing or actually something worse than nothing, where he ends up taking out his own players in various ways. Brock, I know that Baldy kind of likes him and spent some time going through some really good Bradford play, so I don't think this is entirely fair. I think that there are some hits and misses in his game. But, we went through the stat earlier, and Brady mentioned it yesterday, that the Seahawks lead the league in non-competitive running plays that just never get off the ground, plays of either 0 or negative yards in the running game. And I do wonder how much of that is directly attributed to the problems they have at right guard.
Yeah, I was waiting for that guy. He sounded a little bit like the guy that used to pronounce different names, did he not?
Oh, yes. Stepan Gaiamore. Yeah.
Yes. It's been problematic. He's the one that was always, to me, a little bit of the outlier. Your two tackles are terrific athletes, built the way you want, long, and they move really well. Obviously, your left guard, Zabel, has done an excellent job, not overwhelmed at all. Your center, Sundell's a little bit undersized, I think, in some of those negative plays as well, Salk. You probably got to attribute it to those three interior guys, all three of them. I don't think you can just totally single out one of them. But more often than not, yes, Bradford is the outlier. He's the one that just, is at a weight and a size that is not always ideal.
All right, so is there anything you can do about it? Is it too late? Should they have done something about it already? Is there somebody on the roster? Is there somebody off the roster? Like, is there anything that can be done about the problems for Anthony Bradford?
Stepan Gaiamore.
Oh, there it is.
Stepan
Gilmore.
Hey, you kind of got that right. It's Stephon Gilmore. But yeah, Stephon Gilmore, either one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there are guys on the roster. I think this is a more competitive roster of depth than you've had in a long time. I think a Bryce Cable deal will be kind of intriguing to see. Christian Haynes is not on the season-long IR, right? He went on kind of the short-term IR. He comes back here, in a couple weeks.
What about Sundell at right guard and Olu at center?
Oluwatimi, that would probably be the first move from people that I have chatted with, that if you wanted to do that, you would slide Sundell over and you bring Olu in. Then you're moving two parts.
Right. That seems challenging.
Yeah. The one thing you love so far it's kind of like the Mariners lineup or rotation. You love the durability of it. You love the consistency of it. These guys have basically lined up once you sorted out the right guard deal. They basically lined up through the whole preseason, through the first 4 weeks of the season. Can we give them a chance to kind of build that continuity versus, okay, let's change out, what becomes in essence 40% of it by sliding one guy over and bringing another guy in. And, so I think that's kind of what they're fighting. And they'd really just like to see Bradford become a disciplined football player.
But that
because it's in there.
Clearly hasn't happened. And when you watch that tape, I'm sure there's other tape of him that looks better. But the worst of the worst is it's untenable.
I think I found the worst offensive lineman in the NFL, and no, he doesn't play for the Bengals. It's Seahawks right guard Anthony Bradford. This guy pulls up to the stadium every Sunday ready for 60 minutes of shenanigans, acting like he's contributing by throwing his body at Calais Campbell and missing.
Yeah, you were excited, Brock, because he sounded like the Stephon Gilmore guy. I was excited because I was real worried where 60 minutes of was going to go, and I was glad that it ended in ananigans. Let's do some Blue 88s.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Yeah, 360 says, why not just put Olu at guard? Could you do that and leave Sundell where he is?
No, he's not a guard.
He's just not big enough, right?
No, he doesn't move. Yeah, he's not a guard.
Just not a guard. He's just not a guard. I don't know what to tell you, man. He's not a guard. You don't want to make Roger in Tacoma. Oh, Roger's mad at me.
Should be.
Why?
I don't know. Side with him.
He's mad because he said that he was repping. He called us to rep Leonard Williams a while ago, and I kind of laughed at him.
Oh, interesting.
And now I've come around.
Do you want, by the way, not a Blue 88, just kind of looking here online. Do you want to know Anthony Bradford's PFF grades? Sure. I know Brady doesn't like the PFF grades, and I know sometimes you can use them and manipulate them.
Have they been good or bad?
Well, overall grade is a 50.4. That would rank 82 of 101 guards.
Doesn't seem good.
Run block 55, that's a little higher, 68th. I think what our shenanigans man is talking about is a pass blocking grade of 29.6.
That doesn't seem ideal.
That would put him 88 of 101 guards.
Yeah, that seems probably lower than you'd like. All right. Well, I don't know what's going to happen with Anthony Bradford, but how about Reek Woolen? By all accounts, there are teams interested in maybe trading for him, Brock, and I don't think the Seahawks would mind that so much. Why is he on the trade block?
Yeah, because you're not going to sign him. I think that starts to kind of come into play, right? You've got guys in that draft class, and man, his rookie year, you would have thought he would be the first one. He was a shooting star. He was unbelievable. He was on point. He was urgent. He was taking the ball away. He looked like the next Richard Sherman. His rookie year as a 5th rounder. That how in the world do you find guys like this? And then he ate the big meal. And then last year was woefully inconsistent in a system that demands a lot of accountability. And I don't think there's any world where after this season, I mean, not that they wanted it that way. They wanted to give him another shot. They do love their guys. They did want to see him kind of take that next step, but he's just not an all about ball kind of guy to me. That's my own judgment. That's not anything I've heard internally. But you know what Mike McDonald wants? Guy's all about ball. Kobe Bryant's all about ball. Josh Jacobs all about ball. Devin Witherspoon's all about ball. Julian Love's all about. We can go through the whole list. Drake's all about ball. EJ's all about ball. They're all about ball. Who's the one that just strikes me as maybe not all about ball? It's Reek Woolen. And if you're not going to pay him after the season, can you find some value beforehand? Can you trade? Does somebody have a really good backup guard, Salk, in this system that you really like? Does somebody have I don't know, a little more added depth at pass rusher or inside linebacker or something of that nature? Can you get a 5th-round conditional pick for Rick Woolen? Could he go somewhere like Cincinnati and actually maybe the light bulb comes on and, hey, man, I want to get paid after this season, and this isn't a program as intense culturally as it is in Seattle, and I can just, go out there and make some plays, make things happen? Yeah, I think because of the long term, not going to be here. The short term, he's not all about ball. I just don't think Rick Woolen's a fit.
All right, question number 2. Let's go good, bad, ugly of former local guys who are now in other locales.
Yeah. The ugly we've talked about a bunch, and it's horrible, and I feel badly for Pete Carroll. And by the way, good luck trying. You were on the dark web yesterday. You sent me that AI Pete Carroll.
I did.
You can't be doing that stuff to me, Salk.
Why? Clearly, you did not believe that was real.
No, clearly after the first sentence. But I was like, oh, kind of excited to see what Pete has to say. Is he still going to be defending him? Is
Pete killing. Yeah, it's an AI of Pete just cursing at and killing Geno Smith.
Yes. So Geno's 7 picks have been a struggle and been pretty ugly. And again, I hate seeing Coach Carroll at 1-3. Where this is trending with that team. I mean, what was his worst record in Seattle? 7-9, 7-9, right? Got Russell Wilson and turned into a Super Bowl champ. Are they going to win 7 games in Vegas this year? If you watch them, it sure doesn't feel that way.
No.
It feels like a 4 or 5
Is that the ugly
team.
Or is that the bad?
That's the ugly. That's the ugly.
That's uglier than Geno?
No, Geno's ugly. Geno's the ugly.
They're both Geno and Pete are ugly.
Yes.
Okay.
Just the Raiders and Geno are ugly.
Yes.
The bad is, have you seen Tyler Lockett's numbers?
No, it's funny. I thought you were going to go with the bad. I thought was going to be Jake Browning last night.
Well, he had no chance. That's what you say on the grade sheet called no chance.
Okay.
Not because of his skill set. His own line is horrific.
Yeah.
He had like 4 false starts, holding calls. He'd make a big throw, take it back. I mean, he had about 9 throwaways because they're just beaten. I mean, they're horrible up front. Horrible. No, the bad is Tyler through 4 games has 6 catches for 46 yards.
Now, his quarterback can't throw. I mean, like.
No touchdowns.
I just said, looking at that chart, no one was lower than Cam Ward.
So he's on pace for 24 and 200 yards and no touchdowns.
Yeah, and I don't think that should be a huge surprise. I mean, didn't we all kind of think that Tyler was probably done?
I know, it's just bad. And again, a good guy that I just feel a little bad for, that he's gone into that situation where, according to the quarterbacks, are cheeks. So he's cheeks, everyone's cheeks, O-line is cheeks, Tyler's cheeks. Yeah. It's just bad.
Coach's probably going to get fired.
By the way, the good, you see who's leading the NFL in touchdown receptions? One of my favorite Huskies.
Oh, one of your favorite. Rome Odunze.
Rome Odunze, man. 5 touchdown passes.
Did see that.
Malik Neighbors out with the ACL. Marvin Harrison, lots of questions about his urgency.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, Rome Odunze, is he a bust? Top 10 pick. He doesn't look as fast. He's not making plays. Rome Odunze out there balling in the Windy City. And cool to see he's leading all the NFL with 5 touchdown receptions.
All right, question number 3. Practice squad signings don't usually get you too excited, Brock, but yesterday piqued your interest.
It kind of did. I like this guy. I liked him a bunch. His name is Logan Brown. He looks kind of like Dwayne Brown, honestly. Maybe even a little taller. Yeah, just unbelievably athletic guy. 6'5", 320, was a 5-star, like one of the 5 best high school players in America coming out because he was that kind of athletic. Went to Wisconsin as a big-time recruit. Tore, I think, both knees. Never worked out. Went to Baylor, where I saw him with a OC and O-line coach that I really like, a guy named Jeff Grimes, and he was like, man, this guy, he could be a dude in the NFL. One of these guys whose collegiate career was cut short with injury and more injury. Could see this guy just having the body type and the movement. When undrafted, I think because of that injury history, has bounced around a few practice squads. So I just got kind of a rooting interest in this big, very, very talented, very athletic guy. And this system, I think, would be a pretty good fit for it. Didn't work in Minnesota. Similar system with Kevin O'Connell. But, just keep an eye for big old Logan Brown because, he's one to root for with all the injuries he's tried to overcome.
Pretty good. All right, there you go. That is today's Blue 88 and some really good football conversations to be had in there. And that's actually really like a whole half hour of football talk. And tough today. We just kind of want to bounce back and forth nonstop, right? And we got Jason Benetti who's going to join us. I did mention earlier, no passing today with the 4 games. No Jeff passing today. We've got him Thursday, though, which is probably better, right? Just kind of better timing Don't you think? So Jeff will join us on Thursday morning at 8:30. Jason Benetti, who's Brock's former partner, but also the voice of the Tigers. He knows a lot about the Tigers and the Guardians, so we'll chat with him at 8:30 and then DJ at 9:30 this morning. Want to remind you that the Mariners need you at T-Mobile Park this week to help the squad prepare for the ALDS. Be here for postseason scrimmages tomorrow at 2 p.m. and then Thursday at 5. You can get tickets. They're only $10, and they're on sale at mariners.com/scrimmage. With that in mind, Brock, I think this might be the hardest Which Is Better I've ever designed.
Did you throw my good one in? I had a good one in there last night. You see my late email?
Oh, no. I only saw the blue 88. I didn't. Oh, let me look for it now, and maybe it'll get added in.
Yeah, I got a good one.
All right. We'll see if we can add it in. I think this is going to be one of the hardest Which Is Betters ever. It's next on Brock and Salk. You're home for the playoff-bound Mariners.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
It's an interesting game, Dave, in Arizona, as it always is. It looked really one-sided. It looked like they were going to blow the doors off this Cardinals team. I mean, it was a tale of 3 quarters and 1 quarter.
Honestly, before the game, I was like, this could be a blowout. And it was headed that way, but then they just kind of let them back in. So, yeah, there were some things to not like there, but on the road against an NFC West opponent, I thought it was a good, solid win.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. Is your siding ready for the wet season? Call 866-ROOF-ROOF for James Hardy Siding. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
I'm Chris Davis, former King County prosecutor and founder of the Davis Law Group in Seattle. If you've been injured in a crash caused by impaired or drunk drivers, there are special considerations that need to be taken to protect your legal rights. Davis Law Group's team of investigators and lawyers know how to properly investigate DUI crashes and identify all parties who might be legally responsible for your injuries and damages. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 or get my free book at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get his freaking out!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke Heward. And Brooke Heward.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Oh man, this is a good, which is better. Brock, are you talking about the uniform one you sent in?
Yeah.
All right, so you kind of put that as a blue 88 thing, but I will see if I can
you add that
maneuver it into a which is better question using some of those incredible skills I have. And not everyone can play this game. And which is better is hard. It's complicated. It takes a certain type of mind to be able to work through the challenges that this game presents. But we're going to try it right now. Right?
Yes, with the silver
Which
pants,
means
silver
that
helmet.
the Bucks are going white creamsicle.
Correct.
If the Bucks got the dark jerseys, they would win.
The Seahawks throwbacks are the best.
What's your color, Saul?
Me?
Yeah.
Navy,
Oh, I know
gray,
what
and
it
black.
is.
That's about it.
Yeah. That light blue suit you wore at our wedding.
Oh, you like that? Kind of light blue, gray. a premier pass rusher, guy who finishes, gets those sacks when you really need him late in games, I think that still does even more. You're surviving without the right guard. I mean, you're doing fine without. Jacket today, and she's got her new hat on. You know Maura brings it when she wears the leather coat.
I was just surprised.
I love Benetti. He's my number one.
Yeah. Who's like losing friends over this debate is probably not looking enough at the other side, but I think it should be Cal. He would be my vote, even if I wasn't living here in Seattle. I just think the value of
One is a 1200 OPS and one's a 900 OPS. It does all the right things all the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they like the home run hitting capability of Ken and will live with a drop ball and live with a negative run and live with throwing a ball at somebody and live with some of that. But in a one game, I'd still take Charbonnet.
This continues to be an issue for them. This was Brady yesterday.
They've shown the ability, as you said, to be explosive. I think they have 7 plays that have gained over 15 yards in the run game. Obviously, one was the big Sam Darnold scramble the other night, but they've shown that they can pick up some nice yardage. They also have 33 rushing plays, a league high 33 rushing plays that have either gained no yards or lost yardage. And so you just have a lot of plays that never get off the ground.
Yep, and a bunch of those were Charbonnet too.
I know, because he had the one bad game with the
10
bad
carries
foot
for 15 yards.
Yep.
Had no daylight anywhere.
As much as I've been a fan of Charbonnet, Brock, I think right now I would have to say Ken Walker, but that answer is subject to change. Which is better, Castillo or Kirby?
Oh my gosh.
I know. This is going to be in game 2. Lyle, I think you make very good points, and I could be wrong about this, but I think that I'm going with the veteran if I get that opportunity. Gosh, I don't know that I feel good about it, though.
So those weaponry, that weaponry combined with Sam has been better than those 5 moving parts up front working consistently all the time, and especially, as we mentioned, the right guard.
Wasn't a big part of the BB&N experience. Got to tell you.
Oh, you never did too?
Might have called in sick and not gone to school that day in order to stay home and watch the tournament, but I didn't have any teachers at BB&N that did that. No,
Mr. Parker?
No.
Okay.
No, didn't get that.
Right.
No, that
Mr.
wasn't a part of
Peterson?
my childhood. All right, there you go. That is today's Which Is Better. That was fun.
You just spend the whole day watching it on your computer instead.
Yeah, that's what we did when we were kids.
Well, that's what I did.
Just stay there watching it on our
we had computers.
computer. I don't believe my Apple IIc was able to get the NCAA tournament at that point.
These were the computers that the school handed out to us, and I used it to my scholastic advantage of spending 6 hours for 2 straight days watching March Madness.
Have you ever seen an old floppy disk, like an actual floppy disk? Have you ever seen those? They're like, I don't know, yay big. You ever see an old floppy disk?
I don't know.
Lyles.
It's like, what is that?
His whole mind was blown over the idea of a floppy disk. All right, we'll be right back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. And then Brock's buddy, Jason Benetti, will come on, and we'll tell him how Brock just totally stabbed him in the back. It's coming up on Brock and Salk.
It's been 24 years since
The 2001 Western Division champions.
Mariners Nation, you've earned this banner.
There's no better feeling than this. You know, we work so hard each day.
With a first-round bye in the bag, what's ahead for the AL West champion Mariners in the postseason?
It's a lot of great things ahead. I can feel it.
SeattleSports.com has the latest on the scenarios.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
This is where you hear your AL West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
Toyota of Kirkland's service department has you covered as the summer winds down and the fall approaches. At Toyota of Kirkland, be confident in your brakes with a complimentary brake inspection. Get winter ready with a free battery health check, wiper blade installation, and multi-point inspection. Thinking of trading in? Get a complimentary vehicle appraisal. Stay ahead with the maintenance service plan at $374 plus tax. And yes, they match coupons from other local Toyota dealers. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com to schedule your service today. Drive safe, drive smart with Toyota of Kirkland.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow Stolen Voices of Dole Valley now, so you don't miss an episode.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto-pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Dino was suffering from a rotator cuff tear in his right shoulder.
Part of the pain is like taking off my shirt. I couldn't even really button my pants. I could actually qualify for a shoulder replacement if I wanted to go that route.
He chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I heard the commercials for Dr. Wagner. I did my research. I thought about surgery, but the recovery time was so long. I didn't want to have to be in this lane. I want to be able to retire in a few months, get back to bike riding and playing golf without any pain in my shoulder.
Dino knew from experience that stem cell therapy works. Dr. Wagner had already helped him recover from osteoarthritis in his thumb, but he's not done yet.
And now 2 years later, I'm having an issue with my left shoulder, so I've got it scheduled, and I'm going to go back to see Dr. Wagner again because it was so successful.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Tune in on October 5th when your Seattle Seahawks take on Tampa Bay. Kickoff at 1:05 p.m. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, proud sponsor of the Seattle Seahawks and the biggest and best in the Pacific Northwest.
A men's health moment with Revive Men's Health. Low energy, low drive, weight gain, and mood changes can all be signs of low testosterone. Since 2011, Revive Men's Health has treated thousands of men for low T. Learn more at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Got neighbors? Big Trees can help. This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. If you've been considering planting trees to add privacy, look no further than Big Trees. Privacy trees fill in empty spaces, help to define property lines, and add curb appeal. Learn more about Big Trees' big supply of privacy trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
Walking away from an interaction with a customer that says, I can't believe how easy this was. I can't thank you enough for helping me.
Our strategy with pricing is not to be the highest price and not to be the lowest price, but to be a really good price and to provide a really good experience to the customer.
Yeah, I have a ton of really memorable customers. Afterwards to thank us, he sent us this beautiful basket of like candies and fruits and stuff. It was just really sweet. It felt like we were truly helping.
Receiving a handwritten letter that's personalized to a salesperson or a service advisor or a technician expressing gratitude, and then taking that home and sharing that with your family and hanging that on your refrigerator, that's the difference.
You hear it from one person, and then another, and another. You come to realize it's not a script, it's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Full day of baseball coverage. Going to be awesome for a baseball fan. Get home and just watch baseball from essentially 10 a.m. on. That's what I'm planning to do. Avery's getting their wisdom teeth out today, Brock, and then I'm just going to be home with her, hanging out, watching baseball.
Nice.
Think we can get her to do a Joe Burrow-like thing for, I don't know.
When she's on her pain pills, film her.
Well, that's what I was going to do.
Yes.
Film her. Maybe we can ask her questions about Riker Evans or something and see where it all goes. So you got the game you really care about is the first one. Tarek Skubal and Gavin Williams as the Tigers take on the Guardians. Seahawks, or Mariners fans rather, hoping for extra innings and back and forth and late games and all sorts of problems as they will wait for the winner. Then you get Padres Cubs, Red Sox Yankees, of course, and Dodgers Reds in the late game. Blake Snell and Hunter Green. That's probably the best pitching matchup of the day, isn't it? Maybe it's Crochet and Fried.
I'd probably say Crochet and Fried, although, man, Tarek Skubal, Gavin Williams,
I know. They're all
as good.
They're all pretty good, right? The weakest is probably Padres Cubs, Pivetta and Matthew Boyd.
And both those guys have been really good.
Well,
so, yeah.
And as it should be, right? I mean, it's game one, and almost all these teams didn't need to do anything crazy in order to clinch. So, yeah, that works out pretty well. Let's see. What can I give you, Brock? You want a little sound on baseball? Sure. Yeah, how about Bryce Miller? Is Bryce Miller going to go to the pen? Has anybody talked to him about this?
Not really. Just kind of, be ready to go early in the series. And if it's out of the bullpen, be ready to go. I've pitched out of the bullpen, most of my college career, so I don't think I'll have any issue, getting ready and being able to do that. So, but no, I'll be ready, however they want me to. Just getting the opportunity to pitch in the postseason will be fun, and just to go out and help us win. That's all I can ask for.
Can't wait to watch him. This month, Salk, our team has read a chapter of Proverbs every day. So Proverbs 31 chapters. So we're chapter 30 today, and it talks about the lion. Made me think of you and how the lion doesn't back down to anybody.
No.
And how the rooster just has that rooster walk.
It's like howdy.
Bryce, more like Bryce coming out of the bullpen. Can you just picture him pacing out there?
Sure.
All cocksure of himself.
Absolutely.
And throwing 98-mile-an-hour BBs. I can kind of foresee
No one is more
coming.
cocksure of themselves than the rooster. That is set in stone.
Yes. Good song, by the way.
Here's the second
Rooster?
thing you need
Alice in
to
Chains?
know.
Oof, good song. Here comes the rooster, yeah.
I gotta tell you, and I know this is sacrilege because
Oh,
everyone
don't
loves
say
that
it.
song.
Just
It's
don't
like
say it.
my least favorite Alice in Chains song.
Really?
I know, and it's terrible. Everybody loves that song. I've never been a big fan. I love Alice in Chains. Just
We'll play
not
a little later in the show.
the rooster. I don't think we need to. I think you can turn on KSW and hear it like 20 times still every day. If you really need the rooster, you can click over to KSW. There's a decent chance it's on right now as we're talking. It's on all the time, man. All the time. 2 Monday Night Football games last night. Dolphins beat the Jets. That's what happens when you fumble 3 times. And the Broncos just mollywhopped the Bengals 28-3. Cincy in bad shape. Seahawks move up to number 9 in ESPN's power rankings. So Mike McDonald likes where they're at.
I think we're in a cool spot because we've figured out a way to win games. And we also feel like we have a lot of room for growth, and I think the guys feel the same way. So there's urgency there to go keep attacking, keep figuring out ways to get better, improve on the things and the mentality that we have throughout games. And it's exciting. It's exciting to have room for growth and also have some wins in the win column.
Maybe I'll ask DJ this, and we can chew on it a little bit as well. Compare and contrast 2024's 3-1 start with 2025's 3-1 start. I don't remember the DVOA. I don't remember the efficiencies. I don't remember the numbers feeling as complimentary a season ago, Salk, as they do this year. But that may be a worthy conversation here this week ahead of the Buccaneers.
I mean, it feels a whole lot more real to me. I don't know that I could define why, but having not played Skylar Thompson for one of the games, I think has been helpful.
Jacoby Brissett and Rookie Bo Nix.
Right. I mean, I think that helps a little bit. Instead, it's been a decrepit Aaron Rodgers, Spencer Rattler. And
I don't know, man. You see Aaron Rodgers, 3-1. You see his numbers against everybody else but the Seahawks?
They didn't look so good. He does not look good on that chart I was looking at. No, he's not. He stinks.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
We'll see what the Kraken end up looking like this year. They drop a preseason game last night at home to Calgary in a shootout. Berkeley Catton, though, with the lone goal, Brock, and we're going to talk about him at some point this year, I think. I think he's got a chance to make the team. He's played a lot better. He's been... He's looked like he belongs, and at 19 years old, he's either juniors or the
top
NHL.
10 pick?
Yeah, number 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't this kind of time that your top picks here over the years got to kind of matriculate and be difference makers?
Yeah.
Does it work that way in this sport too?
Sometimes. Yeah, you would like. Matty Beniers and him and Shane Wright. I mean, if those three guys are all on the roster, I mean, like in theory, he'll probably end up playing wing this year, but those are 3 top 10 picks all starting at center for you within another year or so.
I mean, shoot him Cecily's goal the other day.
That was a good one.
Let him study that.
That was a good one.
Shot.
Yeah, that was great. That's everything you need to know. Quarter past every hour.
Hey, she pressurized the goalie. Stop it. I don't like you diminishing the first goal.
Cecily's
of the season.
goal?
Yes. She put pressure on the goalie to make a play. And
I did. Yeah, that's what I told her.
Who cares that the goalie knocked it in herself? Like, who cares? She had to put it on the goalie's stick for her to do that. She had to pressurize the goalie.
I told her afterwards, shooting the puck is never a bad idea.
Put the ball in play.
Never a bad idea to shoot the puck on net. Never. Never a bad idea. But, whether it was aimed to the right, I mean, there's pretty goals and there's less pretty goals, and that was in the less pretty category.
Benetti's going to be a little late. He's running in and out of a doctor's appointment. Yeah, so you're just going to have to deal with it. All right? You're just going to have to be a pro. It's what you are. Don't throw your hands up.
I don't have
in the
anything
air
else to
wide.
talk about, Brock. I have nothing else planned.
Oh, yeah, we don't have anything
I've got nothing else to talk about. The only thing I have on my show sheet here, it says Jason Benetti 8:30.
So
I don't know what else
July
to do.
5th when I left you and Colin Paisley to your own devices reading the headlines from ESPN.
Brock, I got nothing. I got nothing to say. We'll just have to sit here in total silence and wait for Jason Benetti next here on your home for the 3-1 Seahawks and the playoff-bound Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Mariners looking to wrap it up. The 1-2 swing and a miss. The Seattle Mariners are champions in the American League West.
The champagne is flowing now.
We're not done yet, but tonight we celebrate. Let's go!
Your home for baseball's postseason and your American League West champion Mariners.
Keep competing, and we'll keep going.
Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
The journey just continues.
Yeah, pretty fun to be talking playoffs and titles and a culmination of an entire season's worth of hard work, dedication, and focus. Yes, bumps in the road, ups and downs, of course. But if you would have told you in, February, March, this would be the result, you would have signed up for the fun, right? Well, in a few short months, everything could change. You could be down 25, 35, maybe even more pounds on the scale, let's say by Thanksgiving. Would you do it? Yeah, a few months. That's all it takes with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. I did the program, lost 25 pounds in a month, 35 pounds overall without pills, without injections, no counting calories, no prepackaged fake meals, all real food that you buy at the grocery store. You follow a plan and you eat delicious, fresh food. And then you've also got a team to provide encouragement and, of course, accountability as well. What does it take to get started? A free 15-minute phone call. That's it. Book one today at eastsideweightlossklinik.com. That's eastsideweightlossklinik.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at PCF Construction. It was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, PCFgroup.com.
This hour is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It is amazing how things come full circle. By the way, a little scheduling change. We've now had two guests bail on us for 8:30 this morning. Jeff Passan moves to Thursday at 8:30 as he's got wild card assignments. And then Jason Benetti was going to take his place today, talk some Tigers Guardians with us, but we'll move that to tomorrow at 7:30 as we have a little time change situation. So Benetti will join us tomorrow, which is fine. Daniel Jeremiah is going to join us at 9:30 this morning. And we're looking
he's going to be a nervous mess.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Yeah, Padres playing later today. I'm surprised we even got him to come on such a crazy day. Maura was talking about, and Lyle was talking about playoff tickets and how hard they are to get. Maura was going back to her time in 2007, living in Denver, trying to get Rockies tickets when they went to the World Series that year, behind Troy Tulowitzki and a couple of other guys.
Matt Holliday.
That was about it. Yeah, I mean, not a great team, but they got hot at the right time.
LeMahieu.
No, that's pre-DJ LeMahieu. I think Gabe Gross, maybe Seth Smith. That was not a great team, but they found a way to get hot at the right time under Clint Hurdle and get their way to the postseason. At the end of that, I was there as well, Maura, because I was covering the Red Sox that year. And at the end of the sweep, there's a picture of me on the mound interviewing Mike Lowell on the field at the end of it, which is great. Wow. And so what a perfect lead-in to Mike Lowell, who was on yesterday with Brian Kenny on MLB Network talking about the Mariners and throwing out a stat that I don't think any of us were necessarily aware of and just how important this might be.
They are the top three with
Rodriguez, Arozarena, and Raleigh. 3 guys at 700, Mike Lowell, and then the shortstop at 650. So that's catcher, shortstop, center fielder.
I tell you, one of the...
And just to jump in, they're talking about plate appearances. 3 guys plus JP in the very top of plate appearances in the American League.
They are the top 3 with Rodriguez, Arozarena,
Didn't
and
mean to
Raleigh.
go back to the beginning.
3 guys
Sorry.
at 700, Mike Lowell, and then the shortstop at 650. So that's catcher, shortstop, center fielder.
I tell you, one of the abilities that people don't, and I think is underrated in the game, is durability, dependability, whatever way you want to call it. It's a la, for me, the 2021 Braves, where they mentioned that whole infield of Riley, Swanson, Albies, and Freddie Freeman at the time. What a relief for Snitker back then to know, okay, this is what I'm penciling in. And how about for the Mariners? A third, you know where you're, well, I'm saying 4/9 of it because I'm adding J.P. Crawford in there as well. That's every day. Right. That's a good feeling to know there's a cohesion here of these 4 guys.
Right. And to be honest, post-trade deadline, everything's kind of like that for this. Like, the number of choices to be made on a day-to-day basis, there aren't that many of them, right? You just kind of go with it like, hey, I know my third baseman is, know who my shortstop is, know who my first baseman is every day. Left and center, done every day. Catcher, every day plus some. And it's really just a matter of how you want to work DH, second base, and right field. And there's only really 3 or 4 options there also.
Mm-hmm. Does that stand in stark contrast to a season ago? 2 seasons ago? Would you say that's one of the more defining factors of this group, maybe versus the last few years? For a number of different reasons. I think Dan is comfortable with this, and Edgar, right? This is, if we want to really kind of talk about some of their old school baseball and where that's come to life, it's been much more that than it has been bunting and small ball and hitting the big park and, you know, some of the things we talked about before the season. I would kind of point to maybe that of being one of the most distinguishing factors between this presentation of the Mariners versus the last 2, 3, 4 years. Is that fair?
Yes, although I think the correlation causation thing always gets a little tricky with that, right? Is that because they have...
That's the way that Dan wanted, or Scott was, if Scott had the same tools, if he would have done it the exact same way.
Yeah, if Scott had Randy Arozarena every day to play left field, would he have just played him every day in left field? I don't know. I mean, like, he didn't have that.
Would he have tinkered with the lineup a little bit more? Would he move pieces around a little bit? Would he more off days?
Maybe.
You know, I mean, all of those things are probably a maybe, but it's been very clear with Dan, like, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to go about doing it. I don't know. When it comes to offensive lines, continuity and consistency really matters. When it comes to everyday lineups, does it matter to those guys? Sounds a little bit like it does to somebody that was in a clubhouse for a lot of years.
Yeah,
Michael Lowell.
Yeah, and Cal has kind of pointed to that a few times this year in the consistency. They've really only changed the lineup a couple of times.
Lyle, on your state championship Lake Washington Kangaroo team,
yes,
did the skip? What was the skipper's name? And did he write out the same lineup card every day?
That'd be Derek Bingham, and lineup was. The first 6 to 7 were usually pretty similar. Sometimes things would change toward the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah. And you were cleanup, right? I mean, you put that name in there each and every game.
Cleaning up part of the bench in the dugout over there.
I wish I was cleanup.
Had a little broom to clean up some of the detritus that had been left on the bench. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, he's not.
That 206 said you've been so nice. You know, you've turned.
No, they said
corner.
I've become positive. I don't think anyone has ever said I was nice. There was some concern, by the way, last night that someone might have referred to Cecily as being nice, and Avery and I were like, I don't know. That doesn't sound like she's caring and she's loyal, but I don't know about nice. Like, let's tone it down. That is not a good description for my daughter, Cecily. Good description for Avery, not so much on Cecily, and probably not for me.
Does continuity and consistency matter? I mean, does it really?
I think
in
they
your
do.
life experience.
They seem to matter.
Okay,
they're a lot easier to achieve when you've got more talent.
Yes.
So, this is a little chicken and the egg here. I don't know exactly how to answer it all, but it does sort of bring up that you don't have a lot of questions with the lineup heading into the postseason. There's really just one or two. I mean, like, how do you want to handle DH, second base, and right field with the combination of Robles, Canzone, Polanco, and I guess Rivas, Jason Churchill on yesterday with Bump and Stacy?
They know Polanco. Polanco knows himself. I think they'll be careful. But again, in the postseason, you do have one advantage, just like with the bullpen. You get that day off in between. You get that travel. You play a couple. you get a day off. You play a couple, you get a day off. You may get rest in between. That's certainly going to help him. But I'm a big advocate of starting your offensive team and then going defense late. And I think you do that more often in the post. If you're up 4-1, just for example, you're not going to win a lot of games 10-2 in the postseason. But if you're up 4-1, it's the 8th inning, and Polanco just batted in the 8th. He should not be out there for the bottom of the inning and for the next inning, right? Like there are a couple of opportunities to go out, depending on who started games, maybe Dom Canzone and right in certain matchups, where you just go to the defensive guy. And I think with Polanco, that can help, trip up and kind of cut off some of those things you might ask him to do that might wear him down, that might actually get him hurt.
Do my eyes...
Are you down with that?
What's that?
Is that how you do it?
I think so. You got to score early, and then
Robles and right, Canzone DHing, and Polanco at second, and then late in the game, probably bringing in Leo Rivas to play second base,
and somebody to play right field.
No, Robles is in right in that scenario.
Oh, he's in. Okay,
you got Robles in right, Canzone DHing, and then Polanco at second base. And saying that is your best offensive lineup.
Yes.
The other option would be Canzone in right, or Polanco DHing and Rivas at second.
Mm-hmm.
I think then you're just sacrificing defense, or you're taking Canzone out entirely, and you're putting Robles in right and Rivas at second. And as much as I think defense is important, and as much as, look, it's one thing to do what Canzone's done in the regular season. We'll see if he can carry that into the postseason. He has been arguably your second best hitter this year. It'd be real hard to take him out of the lineup entirely. Just because you're worried about Polanco's defense at second? It's not ideal, but he's not a butcher at second base.
That's what I was going to say. I know my eyes are failing me, but I feel like I've watched 150 Mariner games this year.
It's range, Brock. I mean, Rivas, they're going to have better range.
They are. There's no question. But how many times does that also come about?
Not that often, which is why I think you want to.
Yes, Polanco game and gone, man, if Rivas was in there, he's making that play. Have you said that 3 times to yourself this season?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't watch it and understand completely and know completely.
But I think it's also keeping him off his feet as much as, there have been a lot of reasons why he's DH this year. Now I think a lot of that gets thrown out. And
100%, it's go time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting him at second base for games 1 and 2. But I think I'm with Churchill. If you got a 4-1 lead late, and you got an opportunity to bring Rivas. I assume it's going to be Rivas and not Cole Young, but maybe it's Young. But bringing in a better defensive, and you know what? I'll tell you what. If it's Cole Young, I don't know if I'm doing it. I think it's going to have to be Rivas. There were enough question marks throughout the year about some of the rookie things that Cole Young did at second base. I don't know if I'm bringing in Cole Young for Polanco late in games, but Rivas, yeah, I think I'd feel pretty comfortable making a move like that late in games, and it's probably along the lines of what they should do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. We've decided. It's very easy. This lineup is easy. Yeah.
Now, will the scrimmages dictate anything to you, Salk?
No, they will
change
not.
Your mind at all?
206 says, wait, did Salk just say was the Mariners' second best hitter Dominic Canzone? I'm just looking at the numbers. I mean, I don't think he is actually their second best hitter, but the numbers this year, he was their second best hitter.
Yeah, and it was 82 games, and it was 250-some at-bats, and he ended up hitting 300 with an 840 OPS, and that OPS was second to only Cal Raleigh, on top of some damage that he did. And, yeah, it's favorable. As you said, he's facing kind of ideal matchups, but dude was a difference maker. A big-time difference.
The numbers show it. Again, yes, Brock, you kind of get put into the right situations so that you don't get exposed, and that helps kind of
Naylor's the second best hitter.
Artificially inflate the numbers.
Julio's the second best hitter.
Right.
Yeah. Randy, through straight. Yeah.
There's a reason he's going to hit 7th in this lineup.
That's right.
But just numbers-wise, what he's done from that spot against right-handers has been invaluable to the team this year. Really, just unbelievable what he's done for himself in just getting himself to a point where he's no longer a 4A player. Yeah, I mean, 206 coming back. You can't be serious. I love Canzone, but be for real. I mean, look at the freaking numbers, 206. It's not like this isn't an opinion. This is literally looking at numbers. This is not an opinion. This is fact. By the numbers, that's what they say. Do I think that's the case? No, I'm with you. I understand. But I don't know why you would get upset about pointing out actual numbers. I mean, geez, they're just facts, man. They're just the facts, man. Yes. Just the facts. All right, you want to? Let's also look at this, Brock. I want to spend a few minutes talking Seahawks with you.
Before you do, you do, and as you pull that up, can I ask you one last question?
Yes.
Today, as you get on the couch and you get home and you get to watch a bunch of this baseball, do you watch this set of games with the Mariners optics at all?
No, I don't know what that means.
They're just kind of independent. You don't watch just thinking, how are they going to match up with the Mariners? What are the Guardians and Tigers going to do? How are they playing right now? Like, do you watch it just for the baseball, or do you watch it with a real lens to Saturday and Sunday?
I mean, I'm not scouting, if that makes sense. I'm not scouting. Reality is, I guess I'm doing a little of the latter so that we can come in here and have something to talk about over the next couple of days. But, like... I mean, it's baseball. Like, I'm going to try to just enjoy watching those two teams play against each other. No?
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I'm not that way. I'm just, whether it's, and certainly way, way, way more in football, where it is strategic and it is matchups and it is their line and their D line and, just kind of watching. I mean, I guess those games. Are
there guys where you're like, man, I don't want to see him, like Kerry Carpenter or, Stephen Kwan, like guys that have been sort of challenging for them in the past? Sure. Yeah, I mean, but I feel like I already know some of that having watched them play this year.
Does it also be...
Yeah,
go ahead, Lyle.
Does it change the fact, in your opinion at all, that outside of Jose Ramirez, the Guardians have one above-average hitter on the whole roster, and it's not Stephen Kwan. Kwan's had a below-league average year.
Is it the first baseman?
Yeah, it's Kyle Manzardo.
Yeah, he's pretty
who's
good.
only 9% above average this year. It's just not a loaded lineup.
No, but they find ways. I mean, like they are sort of the best example where the total is better than the sum of the parts. Like they found a way.
They just more feel to me like a 500 team that got hot for a couple weeks, and it could all come crashing back to earth in one series.
And it coincided with the team ahead of them, crashing to earth itself. But they ended up better than the Astros. Right? I mean, like, you got to give them some credit. Like, they did end up here over some teams that were expected to be here. Better than the Astros, better than the Rangers, better than the Rays, better than the Royals, who were all in it at some point down the stretch, and they emerged victorious over all of them. There's got to be something there.
Yeah, it's their pitching. Gavin Williams has been really good. Tanner Bybee down the stretch was really good. Some of their arms down the stretch have been good.
And some dudes in the pen.
Yeah, despite one of them deciding he cared more about his prop bets than winning baseball games. But yes, they still have good bullpen arms.
Actually, two of them, right?
Well,
two guys that are in that category.
But they're one very, very marquee guy, yeah.
All right, let me spend a few minutes. I'm going to play you some sound of guys around the NFL world who are all of a sudden discovering the Seahawks. Here's Rich Eisen.
I'll say this. I think they're real. I think they're real because Sam Darnold is a real quarterback that we need to actually start considering as such. He's beginning to play this way in another spot, in another system. And they're getting chunk plays, and he's looking just like the guy last year. It's maybe you're just not paying attention to it because it's not Justin Jefferson, it's Jackson Smith and Jigba. It's not the NFC North, it's the NFC West.
Yeah, old Andrew Whitworth on that set last Thursday night. Salk referenced a stat. We talked about the air yards and throws of 10-plus and where he's at this season with explosive plays. Since the start of last year, there's not been a more productive QB with air yard throws of 10-plus. And what he did in Minnesota, and yes, you don't have a Justin Jefferson, but I'm telling you, man, what JSN is doing to stretch the field and what Torrey Horton has done through the first 4 games to continue to build tight ends that can get vertical, this is not a dink and dunk kind of deal. And his mid-range to downfield accuracy has been just absolutely off the charts. It made carryover of what he did for, 15, 16 of the weeks last season. Marred by the final season performances in Detroit, which was pretty much a madhouse, and the Rams team that they couldn't block.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a 1 or 2 game sample size now. It's 4 here, it's 15 there. It was even a start or 2 in San Francisco the year before that.
Colin Cowherd's going to, add on to that.
I mean, there's no greater example of where you land matters than Sam Darnold. USC, Jets, Carolina, especially Jets in Carolina, they asked him at a very young age, carry the franchise. The last 2 stops, good coaches, good roster, suddenly he's elite. And oh yeah, he's elite. Last 2 years, he's tied for the most wins in the league by a quarterback. He's tied for the most game-winning drives with Patrick Mahomes. and he leads the NFL in big plays. And this is the second youngest offensive roster. So he's doing it with kids.
With kids.
With kids. He's doing it with kids. All right. Well, that's enough there on Sam Darnold. The other side has been this defense, and Ryan Clark jumped aboard with both feet.
This front four has absolutely gotten after the quarterback, starting with Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams, and last night, Nwosu putting pressure on Kyler Murray. And when I look at this safety duo of Kobe Bryant and Julian Love, to me, they're the new Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. They're underrated. They're not talked about as much as some of the other bigger names, but they consistently make plays and they feed off of one another so well. And then Ernest Jones anchors everything in the middle of the field. When they get back Nick Emanwari, who's the rookie who was going to start at nickel, I'll be interested to see what Mike McDonald does with him, because Mike McDonald is showing me week in and week out, he's truly a defensive genius with the simulated pressures, the disguises, adding one and running fire zones, man-to-man zero on the back end. They're so creative because they're so talented.
Can I ask?
It's pretty good. I hadn't thought about that. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, remember those guys in Buffalo for a lot of years as a tandem there that were never extraordinary in their height, weight, size, speed, measurables, but were so savvy, so cerebral, and just in all the right spots at all the right time, and their level of disguise and deception were a big part of their game as well, and it's just super sound. So, of all of that, I appreciate that comp. And Salk, that should be right up your alley.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody loves safeties,
I do like good safeties.
You love your safeties.
I like when safeties take the ball away, man. I do. Hey, I was saying earlier that, look, the Seahawks team doesn't have a tremendous amount of elite talent on defense. I think you put Leonard Williams in that category.
What did DJ call those? Purple?
I don't, yeah.
Isn't it blue?
Yeah.
Blue and then purple, right?
Purple
Yep.
chips.
Purple
But
chips.
other than Leonard Williams, and there's a lot of really good players. I fear when I say that I don't think anyone else is necessarily elite, that it downgrades or is an insult to anyone else. I don't see it that way. I think they have a tremendous number of very good, talented guys.
Mm-hmm.
But you see any other elite level talent on that defense? Boy, Amafe's been good. Derek Hall, good. At this point, Lawrence, good. Chenna, maybe we'll see. Ernest Jones been really good. Witherspoon has, I can't say elite.
Spoon and Murphy have the tool set.
They may,
but
but you can't call them that right now. Elite level? They haven't proven that they're elite players in the NFL. The only guy in this team that's in this defense that's proven to be an elite player in the NFL right now is Leonard Williams.
Mm-hmm.
After that, a lot of really good. I mean, DeMarcus Lawrence used to be. I'm not trying to denigrate his career. And Jaron Reed has had stretches where he's played close to that. But at this point, I think you would say you got one guy who is an elite level talent right now. And what Mike McDonald is doing to turn them into an elite level defense without any real major holes, I think is incredible and does speak to some of his defensive genius. Absolutely.
One of the things I really felt like I missed out on in life, being colorblind.
Yeah.
Is mixing those. Did you ever? You were not an artist, so you never really painted, right? With any other watercolors and everything.
No.
And even other stuff where you would mix this with that to make that. Isn't it red and blue to make green or something like that?
Well, no, red and blue make purple.
Red and blue. Are you sure about that?
I couldn't be more sure.
You're.
I'm 1,000% sure.
Okay, see, again, these are things I missed out on.
Red and blue make purple.
Okay,
red
so
and
you
yellow
answered.
make orange. Yellow and blue make green. That's
Good
how
for
primary
you.
colors work.
Wow, look at you. You once again show your brilliance.
Well, I went to school. I went to elementary school, yes. I don't know if I would call it brilliance, but I did attend elementary school.
Maura
yes.
and Lyle, did you know those things as convincingly as Salk just did right there?
Sorry, we were actually.
They're not listening at all.
Right
Yeah.
Ah, they just totally.
Do you
tuned
know
us
the
out.
We
three?
have some stuff we have to do.
Do you
I'm
know the
sorry.
three primary colors?
Believe it or not, yes.
Right, they are
Red, blue, yellow.
and when you mix them, what do you get? When you mix say blue and yellow, what do you get?
Green.
Right. See, everyone knows this, Brock. This is literally
Because you can't
elementary
see
school.
the colors.
That's right. It's a missing link. in
Brock
my
was
life.
making it sound like like at Pomona, I was there studying primary colors and what happens when you mix them.
So to go
I'm
from
in
blue,
primary colors 101.
So to go from blue to purple, you have to add what? More
red.
More red. Seeing red. I think this is a good play over the course of the season. And this will be a great conversation with DJ. How many guys in the course of his career were blue chippers?
Right.
mixed with a little Inferno, a little red, that became legitimate purple players? Or are you just a purple chip player that, is just, sorry, it just doesn't happen. You just don't morph those things. You do it as a whole, and that's kind of your point here. And man alive, are they miserable in Baltimore, Salky? I don't know if you've...
It's bad. It's bad without him there.
Yeah, they feel like the artist there and the guy that did mix all these colors together and all these schemes together and all the personnel together there is gone, and that disruptor is now in Seattle and making, as you said, a bunch of these players, some of them pretty darn elite.
This is good. I'm going to have to see if I can get in touch with my primary colors professor from college and see if I can come back with a syllabus of primary colors.
I don't think I called it your college days. I said in my childhood, this was a missing link for me.
No, and then you said I'm really smart because I knew the primary colors, what happens when you mix them.
Salk, you are a really smart guy. You can go from your...
I appreciate that, but I feel like you using this as an example maybe diminishes how meaningful that compliment really is. We'll come right back. We'll talk to Daniel Jeremiah in a little over a half hour. We got baseball to discuss between now and then. It's your home for the playoff-bound Mariners, Seattle Sports, and the Seattle Sports app.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
It's an interesting game, Dave, in Arizona, as it always is. It looked really one-sided. It looked like they were going to blow the doors off this Cardinals team. I mean, it was a tale of 3 quarters and 1 quarter.
Honestly, before the game, I was like, this could be a blowout. And it was headed that way, but then they just kind of let them back in. So, yeah, there were some things to not like there, but on the road against an NFC West opponent, I thought it was a good, solid win.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Paying extra for tire care is BS. You know, bad service. So at Midas, we're rolling out our BS-free tire guarantee, included with paid installation and tax on every purchase. You'll pay nothing for flat replacements, nada for flat repairs, and zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles. That's $0 for all that. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the BS-free tire guarantee, only at Midas.
This one's for the flavor fanatics. Sour Apple 5-Hour Energy Shots don't mess around. They bring the bite. Tart, tangy, and packed with tasty caffeine, this little 2-ounce bottle punches above its weight. With 0 sugar and as much caffeine as a 12-ounce premium cup of coffee, it's the kind of pick-me-up that keeps your taste buds happy without the crash. And it doesn't stop at Sour Apple. There are 17 bold flavors waiting for you to discover. Pick one up in store or stock up online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon today.
Michael is in his 70s, and he was dealing with an injury.
I had tears in my rotator cuff. Just the discomfort of going about everyday life. Day-to-day things were not comfortable or almost impossible, but just being inactive was troubling.
He was in a great deal of pain.
I started trying to learn how to brush my teeth with my left hand. And you can't do it. It was ridiculous.
Searching for answers, Michael found Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, where he underwent stem cell therapy.
You know, I played basketball Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and so I'm getting my shot back. It's not back to where it was, but hey, before I couldn't even do anything. So 100% improvement of what it was.
Wow, that's great to hear. Would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I can share without a doubt that it helped me, and I'm grateful for that.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
When the heat's in 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
Dayandnight.net. Get end-of-season savings of 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump while supplies last at Day and Night.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Save 30% off an air conditioner or heat pump, plus no payments or interest for a year OAC. Call for details.
Dayandnight.net.
A men's health moment with Revive Men's Health.
1 in 3 men over 45 may have low testosterone. Revive Men's Health offers free T-checks and tailored treatment plans, so you can get back to feeling like yourself.
Learn more at revivemenshealth.com.
There it goes! Storybook season by Cal Raleigh. He has done it!
2026 Mariners season ticket memberships are on sale now, and the benefits start right away. Members get priority presale access to ALCS and World Series games at T-Mobile Park. So come on board today with one of 2 great options. Reserved memberships let you lock in the best locations in the ballpark so you can make your favorite spot home all summer long, whether you want to catch 20 games or the whole season.
Oh, he makes the catch! What a snag by Julio Rodriguez!
Or go with a Flex membership, which gives you the freedom to choose your seats, games, and number of tickets as you go. Terrace Club, bleachers, right behind the dugout, divvy it up however you want. This season's been a whole lot of fun, and you won't want to miss out in 2026. Become a member today at mariners.com/26.
The Mariners, their 3rd consecutive shutout win.
Mariners baseball. Seize the moment.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow Stolen Voices of Dole Valley now, so you don't miss an episode.
If you plan to use the carpool lanes along SR 167, you'll soon need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just but
Heward, not exactly Joe Cat there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Some good text. Some really good texts. Hey, Brock, I went to art school. It was called kindergarten. Shame on you, Maura and Lyle, working while Salk is talking about primary colors on a sports show. And then our buddy Andrew and Elma went real deep on the primary color thing. If you want a lot more information, those are the basic subtractive primary colors. But did you know colors work differently with light than with pigments? The additive primary colors are red, green, and blue, which is why those are the 3 colors used in electronic displays like computers and phones and old TVs. Also, red, yellow, and blue are actually just approximations of the real subtractive primary colors. Do you know what those are? You do if you have a printer, if you have a color printer.
Magenta.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, purple.
No, magenta, cayenne, and yellow.
Yes.
Are actually the 3 primary colors.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew and Elma comes up big, man. That guy listens to the show a lot and has a lot to say. Some of it very negative, some of it very positive, but I'll usually read his text because, I don't know, they kind of make me laugh. Plus, I went to Elma a year or 2 ago, and I was very impressed, Brock. I was quite smitten with Elma in the little breakfast place there. All right, DJ's going to join us in a half hour at 9:30. We'll talk football with him. We're just a couple days away from the Mariners playing in the postseason here at the end of the week on Saturday. Do you have any I had the folks from King 5 come over yesterday to ask me questions.
Oh, great.
What? I don't think I'm going to get in trouble this time.
Last time that went so well.
Well, it would have gone fine if, well, I'll just leave it alone. I'm just going to leave it alone. Yeah. Yesterday I did some stuff for King 5, and this was like a news guy. I know Jake Wittenberg's also a news guy, but he really knows the sports. There's a guy named Sebastian who came over, and he was great, super nice guy, but not really like he's there for news, not for sports. And so from the news side of it, It was much more about the idea of this conflict on Sunday and what's going to happen and how it's all going to work. And he was, trying to understand the angle. And he didn't do anything wrong at all, but it was more just like, hey, so is the NFL flexing its muscles or is baseball doing this? And like just trying to understand how it was all working. And it got me thinking about it a little bit. And like the NFL's kind of in a tough spot. They have an agreement with NBC that gives them an exclusive window at that time. That's it. That's how it works. They cannot
for Sunday Night Football.
For Sunday Night Football.
For Sunday night, yes.
They cannot have other games on simultaneous to Sunday Night Football because they have given in writing in their contract with NBC an exclusive window for that.
Yes,
huge because it's the only game they get.
Yes,
right, and they paid an unbelievable amount for the top game of the week on Sunday nights. And that's all they've got. They don't have a fully fledged, they can't sell as many ads as CBS and Fox can. Even ESPN has some of these multiple night deals. But that's what they signed off on. The one thing they need is exclusivity. It's the only game around. And so they can't have the Seahawks play opposite that game. It's just not possible, right?
So that's the 60 to 90-minute delay, right?
That's what it looks like because baseball is looking at it and saying, all right, fine. That's what you want to do. I get it. You have a contract, but we want to put the most viewed product on at the times where they're going to be viewed the highest. And from their perspective, nationally, because these games will be televised nationally, they're looking at putting the East Coast teams on at 6 o'clock East Coast time on the weekends because that's what gets them paid. And so I don't think you got a chance to play in that late window. And even if you did, I don't know that it's any better. So let's say they move the Mariners to the 3 o'clock Pacific time window. Is that better? You're not going to play a Seahawks game at 10 a.m. local time. I mean, they'd stay at 1. And so what? You start the Mariner game 2 hours later? Is that better? I don't think so. The only thing that's actually better would be playing the Mariner game at 6 o'clock. And I mean, I guess you could do it. What if the Dodgers get eliminated? Mariners could absolutely be the 6 o'clock game, right? Don't you think that's why they're holding off on this? If let's say the Dodgers lose to the Reds, who else is going to play the 6 p.m. game?
Yeah, it could change then.
It would definitely be the Mariners.
I'm just thinking about it in terms of what Major League Baseball thinks is going to draw in what time slot.
Right, but they're not going to start an East Coast game at 9 p.m. East Coast time.
Well, they'd be starting a game at 9 p.m. East Coast time, even if it is Phillies-Dodgers, because that series is going to start in Philly.
Oh, well, then why are we so worried about this? What other game is going to be the 6 p.m. game?
Because they're going to put that game late.
At 9 p.m.?
I wouldn't be shocked if they just tell those guys to start at 9, no.
I've never heard of a baseball game starting at 9 p.m. local time, ever. I've never in my life heard that happen. But 9 p.m. start local time?
But what draws?
Dude, I'm sorry. I don't see that happening. I cannot imagine a 9 p.m. local time start for a baseball game. I've never heard of it.
Well, what does Coach McDonald think about it, by the way?
He doesn't care.
I think he was
I was like, yeah,
yesterday.
we'll move.
Yeah, what do you think, Coach?
Yeah, I have it, but I got to go find it.
Cut number 6. You okay
I
with
understand
all of
that,
this?
but there's different pages.
Salk's cut number 6.
Yeah, I get it. I want a different page. God, I hate you sometimes.
From what I understand, it's not that big of a move, so we would just adjust our morning schedule accordingly. It's really no big deal. It's actually kind of great that we're going to be forced to move. I think that's it's awesome for our city, and it's going to be a really exciting Sunday.
I mean, the 4 teams hosting games on those days are going to be the Brewers, Mariners, Phillies, and Blue Jays.
Correct.
I can't confirm this, but the 253 says they work on the sidelines at Lumen, and that the most likely rumors they're hearing is the Hawks will play at noon and the Mariners at 5:30.
I mean, that makes the most sense, doesn't it?
Sure, if they play a 5:30 game, sign me all the way up. I just think about how Major League Baseball usually operates these things, and they try to put you're going to get 2 marquee teams like the Phillies and Dodgers and put them at noon. I'd be a little shocked.
Well, not
It'd be 3 o'clock
East
Coast.
Yeah, they're going to put them at 3 p.m. Yeah. They don't care about the West Coast time.
It's not exactly prime time.
On a Saturday and Sunday? Sure it is. It's just fine. I got to tell you, Lyle, like, I know everyone's been freaking out about this, but the more I think about it, the more I feel like that is what's going to happen. It'd be one thing if you were competing against the Dodgers for the late time, but the Dodgers are not going to be playing at home. They're not going to start a game at 9 p.m. local time in Philadelphia. They're not going to do that. And they're not going to do it in Toronto either. So unless you think the Brewers are going to get that at 8 p.m. local time, which is possible, they could do a Brewers game at 8 p.m. local time, but it's not like the Brewers have some incredible draw either. So I don't know. I'm looking at it, and it's really hard for me to imagine that at least on Sunday, the Mariners don't end up getting that later window game because it saves everyone and kind of makes it all work out.
I am with that Lumen insider. That Lumen, who would have thought, Salky, that we got a Lumen Stadium insider?
Mm-hmm.
I think that makes total sense. And you play at noon. Is that any issue? Does it make any no, not whatsoever. And it really is not to the detriment of Tampa Bay either. That's traveling across country and on East Coast time zone. So I think that levels the playing field for everybody and puts the Mariners in an awesome time slot.
Yeah, and that
by the way, let's
great.
remember the Mariners have Julio. Let's remember the Mariners have Cal Raleigh. Let's remember that the Mariners won 90 games and won the American League West. I don't think we're just the little guy up in the Pacific Northwest from a national
but you'll be
standpoint.
playing Cleveland, Detroit, which are not exactly big draws either. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all works. Obviously, we're not going to find out till later in the week.
There's also only 2 games on Sunday. I guess I'm more talking about the Saturday thing.
But the Saturday one's not a big worry. Who cares what time it is on Saturday? There's no challenge on Saturday.
Yeah, that's true. And there's only 2 games Sunday, so sure, you could put the Mariners in the later slot on Sunday. I just figure for Saturday with the 4 games,
they probably end up at noon.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would be great. And by the way, that's cool. Play early game Saturday, late game Sunday. Then you don't really have a major problem with the ingress and egress down at the ballparks.
Let's go.
Sounds pretty good to me, man. It sounds like we've solved this whole problem. They could just call us and we'll get this figured out.
By the way, before we get out of here, I thought Brock would appreciate this because we're hard on him with this stuff. You're getting roasted for saying cayenne instead of cyan.
I don't know. It's cyan. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Did I say cayenne? Like the pepper? Cyan. That's with a soft C. Cyan. That's my bad. That's all right. I'll own it. I don't mind that. Cyan. It's just cyan, Brock.
Yellow and magenta.
Yes, those are the 3.
The negative primary colors.
The negative primary colors. But now I'm a positive guy, so it's really hard for me to know the negative primary colors because obviously I've taken a positivity turn this year. We'll come back with everything you need to know next, and then DJ Daniel Jeremiah coming up in 20. It's your home for the AL West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports, and seattlesports.com.
It's been 24 years since
the 2001 Western Division champions.
Mariners Nation, you've earned this banner.
There's no better feeling than this. We work so hard each day.
With a first-round bye in the bag, what's ahead for the AL West champion Mariners in the postseason?
It's a lot of great things ahead. I can feel it.
SeattleSports.com has the latest on the scenarios.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
This is where you hear your AL West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Ewart here, and I have had my share of a few sports injuries. In fact, one of our players had a little rib cartilage. I'm like, yeah, had that. But you don't have to play pro sports to know what I'm talking about. Painful joints from arthritis can affect anyone and make it hard to do pretty much anything. Well, that is where my friend, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine, right over there in Kirkland, that is where he is ready for your phone call this morning, 425-823-4000, 425-823-4000. He has seen so many of you suffering from chronic joint pain caused by arthritis and so much more. So don't let pain stop you from your quality of life. Consider Dr. Nelson the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, yes, including stem cell therapy, a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells and PRP to harness your own body's healing potential. Consider that and so much more if pain is affecting your quality of life. 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different.
TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan from Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. We've been fortunate to work with over 4,000 local people and help them hit some pretty amazing weight loss goals. I'm joined by two of them right now, Mike Salk and Ryan Rowland-Smith. Mike, you were able to lose about 1 pound per day for over a month, 35 pounds in total.
Well, as much as I'd love to take all the credit, really, I was just following the plan. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic made it super easy, and there really was no part I struggled with. I was eating delicious, fresh food, all while losing weight. The accountability from your team was great. It just helped me keep the focus. I felt catered to the entire way, and I think Ryan really had a similar experience.
No doubt about it. I just finished up the program, and I can't believe how well it worked. I wish I would have started sooner. Talk about motivation. So, thanks for the recommendation.
No surgery, no exercise, no packaged meals, no drugs or injections. Just delicious food and a plan that works. Schedule a free 15-minute consultation today at eastsideweightlossklinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
This is where you hear your AL West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
The best managers are really good observers and communicators. Listen to your team, whatever they have to say, even if it's right, wrong, or indifferent. For me, that's kind of everything. I like to have my team feel like they're part of something. They can contribute to the growth of this place.
The Lee Johnson culture to me is empowering all of your employees to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
For me personally, started with Brett and Todd. They identified, what their core values were about, and in turn that drew people with similar core values to him. It's why my dad wanted to come back here. When he got to a certain point in his career that just the paycheck and the financial statements were not fulfilling enough for him, he wanted to get back to where it was a family.
Love and respect aren't just policies. They're what make the Lee Johnson Auto family feel like home.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, as we wait for baseball to get going here in about 45 minutes, some small, let's call it minor, Mariner breaking news. But Adam Jude reporting just a few minutes ago that Colt Emerson, Brock, is going to be on the taxi squad for the postseason. Colt Emerson on the taxi squad. That's not major breaking news because I don't think it means he's going to be in any way attached to the team or playing.
What does that mean?
It means to me
that travel with the team.
Yeah, he can be around them, and
so he gets a taste of what playoff baseball's all about.
He'll be in these inter squad workouts this week.
I mean, that makes it pretty interesting. Like, if I needed another reason, if you needed a reason to go down there on tomorrow or Thursday to one of these games, I don't know. Seeing Colt Emerson out there makes it kind of fun. No?
And remember what these scrimmages are, ladies and gentlemen. If you're wondering, should I pull my kiddo out of school and go do this to get ready for the playoffs?
Want to, yeah.
A, it's $10. B, the stadium is open. C, they're treating it just like a game. All the music, all the walk-up, all the festivities. It's going to feel as much game-like as they can possibly do. And then, now throw in Colt Emerson.
2 p.m. tomorrow, 5 p.m. on Thursday. Tickets, as you said, $10. You can get them at mariners.com/scrimmage. That's kind of cool, Colt Emerson. I don't think he'll be on any of these rosters, but being around the team.
Wrap up doing at Tacoma? Wow. I know he started with a bang, right? He started with a 3-run home run. And I know it was, only a week or so, week and a half. It wasn't that long.
He didn't play for very long. To me, this is a combination of a service to him to kind of get him around and see what the playoff atmosphere is like, and then also a reward for an unbelievable growth going all the way from high A to where he got finished the year. It's pretty amazing.
And C, get ready for next year, too.
Yeah.
He played 6 games in Tacoma, but in those 6 games, hit .364, 2 homers. His WRC plus was 174.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Games, but
he's all right.
That's pretty good.
He's all right.
What if he is on the roster? What if they play him in the postseason at second base?
Stranger things that happen.
I don't know. That might be pretty strange.
Yeah.
All right, so you got the big game this morning, 10 a.m., just a little over 40 minutes from now. Tarek Skubal and Gavin Williams, Detroit, Cleveland. You're waiting on the winner, so that's the series to watch. And then you got Padres Cubs at noon, Red Sox Yankees. If you've ever seen those two teams play before, I don't know, maybe you've heard there's a rivalry, but they'll get underway at 3 p.m. And Garrett Crochet, Max Fried in that one. Dodgers, Reds in the late game with Blake Snell and Hunter Green. And then just one last little note. MLB attendance went up. Again, 3 straight years that attendance has gone up in baseball. Now, some of that is coming off of COVID, right? So probably it was down and you start, kind of creeping back up to where it is now. But still, it hasn't happened where they've had 3 straight years of growth since 2007. That's probably a good sign for where baseball is going as they enter into this interesting media environment moving forward.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Monday Night Football last night. God, those are really lousy games to have on Monday Night. I wanted to be excited about them because it's cool when there's 2 games and stuff. But Dolphins-Jets, it's a good rivalry because it's an old rivalry. But the Dolphins wearing those uniforms kind of messed it up for me. And those 2 teams stink. 2 0-3 teams battling. And then you got Denver and Cincinnati, and the Bengals look like they've already quit. People are talking about who's going to get fired, and Brian Callahan in Tennessee, and Mike McDaniels obviously in Miami. Any talk about what's his name, Zach Taylor?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still A, 2-2, and B, I mean, you're without your guy. And Joe Burrow just elevates everybody around him and elevates no line that Jeepers Creepers.
But what if they quit? What if they quit? It's one thing to say, hey, you're without your quarterback. Fine. We can ask DJ. But what if they quit?
What does quit mean in the NFL?
I don't know. Get beat 28-3 by the Broncos the way they did last night.
Broncos are a good team, man.
They were 1-2 heading into it. I know that they're a better team than that.
They lost on 2 last season.
I understand. I'm not trying to take away.
Team. It's a playoff team.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Who's a good team? The Seahawks. They're number 9 in ESPN's power rankings. Pretty big jump up from 14 a week ago. That's a 5 spot jump. Yeah, people are noticing, Brock. Seahawks are actually, pretty good. And they got this little mini bye. That's how Mike McDonald's treating it.
Treat it like a miniature bye. So some self-scout stuff, some around the league stuff, work ahead on Tampa, all the above. So it was good. And, take some time to get away for a minute, which I think was important for everybody.
Mike McDonald might put more value on time off than any other coach in the NFL. He mentions it all the time.
When they're on, they are on.
Yeah.
On like Donkey Kong. And then when they're off, they try to really get away from it. Back to your point about quitting.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Like in college, you quit. In college, guys transfer. In college, guys are like, I'm good. I played my 4 games. I'm going to preserve. Like in college, they're legitimately.
The NFL guys make business decisions. In the NFL, the guys stop paying attention.
In the NFL, you quit, 80% of you aren't going to have a job.
Yeah, guys make business
20
decisions. Guys start not, they lose focus. You can tell a team that's kind of quit.
Yeah.
It's quit on a coach that wants him out. I don't know, we'll see what goes on there. I'm not saying that he's going to get fired. Just saying, going to have a little eye on that. Kraken lost their preseason game last night in a shootout to Calgary. Berkeley Catton with the lone goal, and I do think there's a chance he ends up making this team. Number 8
He's a
pick.
winger?
He's a centerman, but he's been playing wing because they're sort of set up the middle right now, and oftentimes a young center will come in as a wing. If you can play center, you can play the wing. So
gotcha.
You can put him on the wing, and especially with Capo Caco out, then you got an opportunity to use him maybe in that spot.
Just try to say that name.
Capo Caco.
The two things that Salk loves, have y'all figured this out there? The Heisen, the Kraken Iceplex, and that
Capo
guy's name.
Caco?
Yes, that guy.
How about
The
Diambador
walking
Lenore?
taco.
How about Diambador Lenore? Every announcer likes saying that one. That's everything you need to know. 1:15 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. Yes.
I always liked Ui Angalale. Like when you get some of
Yeah.
the Polynesian games,
Mhm.
Tuyasa Sopo.
Mhm.
Yeah, you get those suckers down. Tungavailoa. You feel really
You're not as
confident.
into the Finnish names like Capo Caco. Hockey's so funny, man. We were watching the game last night. I don't know. I'm sure we were, among the few.
No. Yeah, no.
But
I wasn't watching the preseason Kraken game. No,
Well, a lot of people were. I was. Maybe somebody else was out there. And Vince Dunn takes a little high stick in front of the net and turns around and just starts mauling Pospisil. I mean, just like punches right away.
What?
It was like, whoa. And Pospisil ended up getting he ended up getting 4 minutes for it, and Dunn only got 2. And I was like, Heather and Ava are trying to figure out what the heck it happens. Like, there's got to be a history there between them. And sure enough, reading Sound of Hockey this morning, it's like, yeah, he had a dirty hit on Vince Dunn like last year or 2 years ago. And it's like, yeah, you can just, it's funny the long memories those guys have, and they know exactly who's around them. And you do something like, I'm going to go right after you, because they've got long memories. Hockey's awesome. I'm excited for hockey season. But it's still football season. It's the end of baseball season. We're talking to Daniel Jeremiah. We'll see if he's able to concentrate. What with the Padres coming up later today. That's next on Brock and Salk.
Bump and Stacy.
The Seahawks are 3-1.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
This defense looks amazing. I know that they did not continue that streak of holding opponents to 17 or fewer, but they held them to 20. And importantly, essentially the Cardinals had 1-2 solid drives the entire game, like objectively good drives. The rest of it, they were completely shut down.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710. Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and I just want to make sure everybody's getting themselves ready for retirement. I just had a friend come over to me yesterday. It's like, hey, have you thinking much about retirement? And I was like, yeah, I think about it a fair amount. I can't wait to do it one day, and the sooner the better. Well, if you want to plan for retirement, you need help doing it so that you can make sure you're covered till the, essentially rest of your days. That's why you need help from a company like Trajan Wealth Management. They're awesome. You can call them today and schedule a complimentary introductory meeting. 206-466-3300 is the phone number, 206-466-3300. So questions, right? Like, do you know leaving an old 401k with a previous employer could create higher investment costs? No? Yeah, that's the type of thing that they can help you out with. If you've got an old 401k and you're not sure what to do with it, call Trajan Wealth and discuss how to optimize those funds and get that money working for you again, not for somebody else. Trajan Wealth's core philosophies include low expenses, manager tenure, and tax efficiency as well. It is so huge to manage those tax efficiencies. Make sure you call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300, or go to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat.
Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow Stolen Voices of Dole Valley now, so you don't miss an episode.
Where you hear Cal's quest for the MVP.
Goodbye, baseball, number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hey, it's Dave Wyman, and before you make that decision, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because he gives it to you straight. Dr. Wagner said my right knee needs replacement, and I appreciate his honesty and expertise. My left knee is fine right now, but the minute it isn't, I'm heading to Dr. Wagner for his expert opinion. I want to avoid another surgery, and I've heard so many patients rave about results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner. He's a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience and has performed more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. Whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Man, I do worry about DJ today. I know we're going to talk to him here, but what level of focus could he possibly have as his Padres are just a couple hours away from their first wild card game of the season? I mean, DJ, I'm under pressure even here with us today.
Well, I feel great, and there's a reason why I'm wearing my Ryder Cup hat today off of a very disappointing showing. Because, look, I'm a man of faith, and when I was on the plane headed out there to New York, and I said, Lord, I would just ask for two things. I would ask for the Padres to win the World Series and the U.S. to win the Ryder Cup. And I heard that soft voice in my ear say, I can only give you one. And so I picked the Padres. And so that's why I wore this as an apology to all the American golf fans out there.
I don't think any of them were actually in the crowd, though. It did not seem like a golf crowd there at Bethpage Black.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Like I was there for that whole day Saturday, bounced around to different holes. I heard some language, but it wasn't terrible, and I didn't see anything on TV. So all my buddies were like, "Gosh, I guess it's awful out there." I'm like, "Yeah, I must have been on the wrong groups because it was pretty tame. There was nothing to cheer for. They didn't make any putts."
Was that a bucket list thing to do? See a Ryder Cup?
Oh yeah, I've just gotten into golf the last few years, and that was when you talk to people who have been in it and have been around the sport for a long time. They're like, if you can go to one thing, like hit that thing up. And it just so happened the Chargers were playing the Giants and happened to be in town, so it worked out perfect.
Any pictures with your lookalike?
I did have one person say I was watching another match and he said JT, and I was like, no, I don't think JT's wearing a
like a Go USA hat.
When floating around. I did say, by the way, to the people we were with, I said, I think you could get away with cold-blooded murder on this course because they would call it in and they'd say, what did the suspect look like? And they would say a middle-aged white man, polo, hat. Like there's 50,000 of them out here.
I would say when you first started that story, Brock likes to every once in a while tell stories or talk as if he is Ivan Drago rather than as if he looks like him. So he'll be like, oh yeah, my wife, Brigitte, or something like that. And so I thought you were telling a story pretending to be Justin Thomas and not that you had actually gone to watch the Ryder Cup, but I guess it makes sense.
Oh yeah.
What the heck happened? We're going to talk Seahawks here in a minute, I mean, what a crazy game.
The Chargers game?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, I mean, I said in the top when we were talking before the game with Money, and he said, "What's the key to the game?" And I said, "Well, you've got to eliminate the easy button. You've got a quarterback making his first start. Make things hard on him. Don't give him short fields. Make him travel the length of the field against your defense." They had 2 drives that started inside the Chargers' 5-yard line and scored 21 points.
Does that
total in the game? So I mean, that was the game.
Does that kill the Russell Wilson career? Is that the end? Is that a stake in the heart of Russell Wilson?
When Dart had to go get into concussion protocol to get checked out, and then Russ came jogging on the field, I actually felt bad for him. The whole stadium booed him as he came onto the field. That was tough. If by the way, on that front, we get to the Seahawks in a second, but if you are Cincinnati and you watch what you watched last night, why wouldn't you call and bring in Jameis? I'd rather watch Jameis try and throw the ball to Jamar Chase 50 times a game.
Or Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a sensitive topic in the market up there, but I would not be excited about watching Browning for another whatever it is.
No, he needs help around him. And their O-line is atrocious as well. I was Denver. Denver kind of looked, I think that's a good segue to Seattle. Denver's line of scrimmage, their offensive line, their defensive line, especially their front. That felt like a Seattle Seahawks kind of front last night that just imposed their will. DJ, this has been now 4 games. It is a continuation of the second half of last season. We talked a lot about that. We talked about it the first few weeks of where this defense is. You put the Seahawk tape on yet again this week. What jumps off?
The depth, just the depth and the sheer number of guys that are getting involved and playing well and playing fast. I think the front really it's not, and Leonard continues to do his thing, and we talk about him every week on here, but the whole group is just playing well together and they're running to the ball. That is, I was talking to one of the guys in the personnel department with the Chargers who has history with McDonald going back to Baltimore. And I told him, I said, it reminds me a lot of the Chargers. When I watch the Seahawks every week and look at the tape, there's a lot of similarities to how they play. And he said, yeah, it's just they've just preach it and stress it about getting hats to the ball. And it sounds kind of high schooly or, kind of like early football stuff there with kids. But you'd be surprised when you really look at NFL football week in and week out, it's more the rare thing where you see that much effort and hustle to get to the ball.
How good is Leonard Williams? I feel like we've asked this question before.
It's every week.
But it is becoming an every week thing. And Brock will tell you that on Friday, I gave our audience a little homework assignment for the weekend to go home and talk to someone they know about how good Leonard Williams is. Because as good as he is, and as much as we talk about it, we're still not talking about it enough. Mike McDonald said he couldn't come up with a player playing the position any better than he is right now. It sure feels as if he is playing at that ultra elite level.
I feel like we've had this conversation 3 weeks in a row on here, and I've said it when we've talked about it. I don't know who's playing better than him, and I don't. It's not hyperbole. It's not. It's close. It's not even. There's nobody that's playing at that level right now, the way that he's playing. So I hope he can keep it up. I hope he can stay healthy, because if he does, he's going to be in the Defensive Player of the Year discussion.
All right, so why him? That, first of all, that's a huge thing, Defensive Player of the Year, and we can maybe come back to that. But why? What is it about Leonard Williams specifically? Because there's other. I mean, I know there's guys that are big. There's a lot of guys who are really good who play that position. What sets him apart specifically?
I look at defensive linemen, and against the run, can you win on the front side and the back side? Can you win on the front side with strength, power, leverage? Yes. Can you win on the back side? Can you beat blocks? Can you play with quickness? Can you pursue and close from the backside? He does those things. Then against the pass, it's pretty simple formula. Like, do you possess enough power to be able to walk guys back to the quarterback to set up everything else you want to do? And if you have that power, then can you pay it off with some of the counters and the quickness that you can win other ways? And those are the 4 key areas I look at for defensive linemen, and he's been A++ in all 4 areas.
DJ, I'm going to be vulnerable with you in 2 different ways today. This will be the first one. Shared it last hour. My color blindness has been a stumbling block in my life in many different ways. I gave Salk a lot of credit for knowing primary colors. He diminished that thought because you learned that in kindergarten, something I never did learn. But can you go from a blue to a purple chip player? Last year, you taught us a lot about that through the draft process, looking at the Seahawk roster. It's a lot of blue chips. There's a lot of blue chips. Are there many purple chips? Based on your kind of conversation there, Leonard Williams, he's a purple chip kind of player. Can these blue chippers, can you add red to make them a purple chip player?
I think so. I think there's some of it's kind of the natural thing where it's you get into like year 3, year 4, and that's kind of the natural takeoff point. I think with Leonard, it's just he's been in that area of that just really, really good Pro Bowl caliber player for quite some time. Mm-hmm. And now you're seeing him take another step a little bit later on in the career. I think that's a little more rare what he's doing in terms of the dominance. But I have to go back through my list.
Can Byron Murphy go from a blue chip to a purple? Can a Spoon, if he can take the ball away, go from a blue chip to a purple chip? Can a Derek Hall? I don't know if Hall and Mafe are quite blue chip kind of guys, but is that something you do see and have seen over the course of the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, I think you see some guys go up there. I mean, that's rare air when you start talking about guys who you believe are the top 5 to 7 players at their position in the NFL. There's only so many of those guys, the elite players. So, you don't need many of them. You see teams win Super Bowls when you can have 3 or 4 of those elite level players, and they've got some guys that are there. And to me, as great as that, group is playing and Leonard doing his thing, I think to me, still the biggest story of this Seahawks team is on the other side of the ball, and that the offensive line is better. And the fact that Sam has not had the, kind of this slow launch, so to speak, there, that maybe some people thought it would take an adjustment period and, hey, just be patient. It's new setup for him. He's just hit the ground running and looks so confident and so comfortable back there. I think that's probably even the bigger story for where they are.
Well, I certainly have that written down as something to talk to you about. So let's go there with Daniel Jeremiah and talk a little bit about the offense and specifically the quarterback. We went through some numbers and some charting with whether it's EPA or the PFF grades that just show him playing football about as well as any quarterback in the league so far. Should we be talking more about Sam Darnold as one of the best in the league?
I think he's really, really good, to the point where in watching Caleb Williams, and kind of Caleb Williams is getting better and playing better, but I had this thought when I was going through the Seahawks tape of, man, I know, and it's not just the SC connection, but if I was Ben Johnson, I would sit Caleb down and show him how Sam's playing the position and show him how quiet Sam is from the waist down, like how he's just, there's a calmness and a quietness to how he's playing that's not frenetic at all. For someone like Caleb Williams, he shows you flashes where he can kind of slow it down. And when he does, He plays at a really high level. I'm using Sam as an example for a young quarterback of where you'd like to get to. And I don't know if people would have believed that if I would have told you that, 3 or 4 years ago with where Sam's career is, but he is. And to me, that's because you have a faith in your ability. We've talked about it, before, about trust your eyes, trust your guys, but he is playing with tremendous amount of poise and confidence. And there's a calmness to how he's playing, which is impressive.
Is that what he did for 15 of the 17 weeks a year ago in Minnesota?
Yeah. And that's why I kept telling people that, the end of the year is who he was. And I'm like, guys, I'll give you one game. I'll give you the Detroit game. He didn't play good in that game. Okay. That's one game. The Rams game, I think he got sacked 9 times in that game. There's nobody that's doing anything. I don't care what. Look at Patrick Mahomes in those Super Bowls when he's got heated up like that. That's not a quarterback problem. That's a much bigger problem. And I think it was just convenient for people who didn't, who wanted to be, we were right that Sam Darnold could never play. And even though I've got these, 15 examples of how great he played last year, I'm going to latch on to 2 of them, one of which, Tom Brady wouldn't have done anything against the Rams that day.
Calmness is such an interesting way of describing what he's done. And in kind of thinking back on the 4 games that we've watched, I think that does make sense. And maybe it's on my mind also thinking about you and about to watch your Padres. And I'm sure that's anything but calm experience. There's a lot of anxiety that goes into watching a postseason baseball game. That's what the sport is all about. But when you watch a lot of quarterbacks around the league, that is a nice dividing line between the guys who look calm doing it and the guys who look like they are just frenetic and sped up. And that doesn't mean it can't work when you're not calm. I mean, like, there are guys that, with their legs, they can make that work. But, I mean, this past weekend or past Thursday is a good example. Kyler Murray never looks calm to me. And maybe that's why I just don't like him as a quarterback. He always looks like he's in panic mode and then he's inaccurate, whereas Sam does. He really does look very calm all the time.
Yeah, and look, there's a sweet spot there too. You don't want to be so calm and relaxed that you're getting, hit and the ball's coming on the ground all the time because you're not playing fast enough.
Sure.
Then you don't want to be sped up and frenetic and hyperactive back there. He's found that nice little pocket. I almost think of him like you think of how you might listen to podcasts. Like when Sam's been in trouble in the past, and I see it as I reference with Caleb Williams, like he's listening to it at 1.6 speed. Like he's got to slow that thing down a little bit, man. Just slow it down, and then you'll get yourself into a nice rhythm and flow. It's hard to be accurate when everything is moving too quickly and too fast. It'd be like a golf swing where, you're too quick. You got to kind of have a nice tempo and flow to it, and that's how Sam's playing.
Any of your boys, DJ, play quarterback?
No, I pushed them away from that. As someone who was, look, I was in a quarterback battle in college back and forth. So it was kind of, you'd start a few games, you'd be out, and I'm like, dude, that's the only position on the field, I guess, maybe than kicker, where if you're the second best at anything else, you play a ton. Like, I don't want you to, I want you to get out there and enjoy the game. So I raised a tight end / linebacker and a defensive end tight end. So
you know what I've noticed?
That kept them on the field.
In my life experience, and it's been only a few years here in Titus now in high school, but I got to watch my nephew play tight end, and it was so enjoyable. I was like,
isn't it relaxing? I love
yes
it.
Yes. I sat on a plane with Justin Herbert's mom. My producer thought I was flirting with this older woman when we got done. He's like, you and that woman talked the whole flight from LA or Eugene to LA. I'm like, yeah, that was Justin Herbert's mom. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm like, yes, I don't just talk to women to talk to him. She was fascinating because she was like, oh, I love watching my son play tight end, Patrick, at Oregon.
Yeah.
And I hate watching my son play quarterback. I have to sit in a suite. It's miserable. All eyes are on him. I mean, it is just a different viewing experience.
Here's my question. The only thing I could equate it to is when your kids were little playing soccer and they would play goalie. Because it's like anything else happens on a soccer field.
Yeah, my daughter did that.
Like,
Macy was a goalie.
See, gosh, you're gonna have a short life, Brock. That's
why I've aged so
much.
Off your life. So this is the other.
I remember.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, my youngest son, and I tried to again I'm like, hey, no, play one of these other positions. He's like, no. I think so. They're in the middle of a game. He's like 5-6 years old. So they go, we need somebody to play goalie. So my son raises his hand. He goes in there to the goal. So they kind of come onto the field and they're getting ready to drop the ball. And I look, and he's in the goal. He's got his hand up in the air. like he's trying to ask a question to the teacher, and you just hear him go, "I changed my mind. I changed my mind."
Man, I watch it with the hockey kids, and what's funny about the hockey goalie the goalie parents are almost more a team unto themselves than they are part of like they have sympathy for the other goalie on the other team. Very different. All right, Brock, where were you going with all this on the quarterback thing?
Yeah, I was going to tell a different story, but it's going to take too long.
All right,
We're
then
up against it because I have to get to Reek. But hold on, no. I do
one
want
more quarterback thing. Last quarterback thing.
Yeah.
How is Sam Darnold in this passing offense so good when they really haven't run the ball? Every conversation we had about the Seahawks was they have to run the ball consistently because they don't have enough weaponry to throw it all the time. That hasn't been true at all. Their run game has been much more inconsistent, and both of us said earlier, Brock, we preferred it when they're throwing the ball, which is insanity considering everything about this team was geared up to running the ball this year.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. I'm guessing that there's some balance, at least in terms of them attempting to run
There
the
is
ball.
a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the.
But they haven't been very good at it.
Yeah, I don't know that necessarily
3.3
matters
yards
as
a
much.
carry.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that it matters as much as you still doing it enough to make them honor it. Like I doing the Chargers stuff, there was, they had just been exclusively throwing it for the most part until they finally got it going a little bit with Hampton this last week. But so at some point in time, they're not honoring these nakeds that you're running, coming out the back door with Herbert because you just haven't run it. So you not necessarily have to hit home runs or be even efficient, but we got to at least attempt it a few times so that we can kind of be able to hold some of these edge rushers.
And they are doing that. I think that is a big part of it, honestly. And these teams are triggering so fast in their outside zone and hitting that outside zone in the mouth or negative plays. But it does then set up some of the play action that has been very effective. One element of the last thing with the QBs is I can't imagine a group of 4 quarterbacks, first 4 opponents that were like, oh, I hate playing those guys. Brock Purdy got beat up, shoulder, toe. Aaron Rodgers, look at the numbers. He was, horrific against the Seahawks, good against everybody else. Spencer Rattler, oh gosh, it was a rattle fest. And then Kyler was atrocious until the final 2 drives and got sacked 6 times. Is there something to be said when you put that on tape as a defense, as a rush, as a collective group, that quarterbacks like Baker in this week goes, oh, good Lord. I'm going to have to buckle up because I know what's in store for me now over 4 quarters.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think in terms of guys in their prime, I mean, you'd have that was like the Mount Rushmore of current quarterbacks that you're going to face in the league. But the fact is you handled all of them. And that, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure when they're doing their advanced scouting report and looking ahead to this opponent, like, gosh, you can see, just watch tape. They're getting hit. You're going to get hit. But, Baker will be a great test because he got hit last week too. Like he almost in a weird way, I think that kind of gets him going a little bit. So I think this will be even, Brock had been paid and had the year that he had last year. I think this will be easily the biggest test they have so far this year.
What is the value of Reek Woolen? That was the big report that came out over the weekend that, other teams are monitoring him and trade interest potentially. Brock got me all excited with the idea of a Reek Woolen for Trey Hendrickson trade straight up, and now I don't know what to make of myself. I thought that seemed silly, but Brock was like, yeah, they don't even need to give up anything else. And I was like, okay.
Take on $25 million, Salk. Other teams can't do that. You think since he wants to pay him $25 million?
DJ, what's the value?
Last season?
If you trade Reek Woolen, what can you get?
I mean, to me, it felt more like you get like a 5 that turns into a 4, at the most, I would think a 4 that could turn into a 3. That seems like maybe that coffee's a little rich, but I think that's the family at which you're looking at in terms of compensation. If I were the Bengals and I was a Bengals fan and we decided to trade Trey Hendrickson for anything other than somebody that can protect Joe Burrow if and when he comes back, then that would be a mistake.
Well, they'll throw in Anthony Bradford in the deal.
Oh, there you go. Sweetener. We call a little sweetener there on the top. Yeah.
What about player for player? And take Hendrickson aside, and it is a lot of money, by the way. It's an extraordinary amount of cash that most teams don't have on hand to be able to do something like that. But would it be terribly unique looking at John Schneider's history and the personnel department and everything else to say, no, we need this and we need a player. We need a guard. We need, there's still some areas of some need on this roster.
I think that's one of the blind spots for GMs in the NFL, to be honest. I think there's more opportunity of we can each help each other type situations where we've got a little depth here, you got a little depth there. And I'm not even saying like backup. I'm talking like some starting caliber, good players. But hey, you've got you've got 5-6 good defensive linemen, and we have a hole in this department, and you've got some corners, a little excess there. They just don't do it. I don't understand why more of it doesn't happen, because it seems like they're out there where we can both be better. There's no need for anybody to lose a trade. There's no reason for this to be a we get today, you get tomorrow in terms of, draft picks. Like, this is something we can do right now that's going to help both of our teams.
How worried are you in Baltimore?
Oh, yeah. I mean, and to me, it's not so much, and I know the Steelers are 3-1. I don't think that they're going to just run away with the division. I think they have time to get things corrected and get back in it, but just defensively, they're awful. And I think that's 3 games now they've given up over 30 points.
And how much of that is the Mike McDonald drain?
Oh, I think that I'm surprised that there hasn't been some shakeup or movement there on the coaching side, because that's a prideful group, especially on that side of the ball. And they've got resources there. They've got talent. They've put finances and high draft picks into that group, and they are not playing well at all. And I'm just surprised we haven't seen something, because that has been something they've hung their hat on there for 25 years.
What does the setup look like later today for Padres Cubs game 1?
So I've got some pods to knock out, some PODs to knock out. And then, we've got Padres at noon here. Yeah. So I don't know. I honestly don't, it's not an enjoyable experience.
You watch by yourself for that? Like, do you need to be alone with your own anxiety?
I mean, my son can come home from school. He's a senior in high school. When you're a senior in high school, I see him more at home. I don't even know if he goes to school, so I'm sure he'll be home watching the game.
All right.
But last week I had a physical appointment, and the first time this has ever happened, I get there and they go, "Oh, did they not call you?" I go, "No." Well, the doctor's sick. It's a good piece of information. We'll just reschedule you next week. So I've got I've got a physical appointment tomorrow at 2. The guy's he's probably gonna admit me to the hospital and go like, "This guy's blood pressure is through the roof." Take me out of an ambulance on the way to the hospital because I'm trying to follow the Padres game.
There's probably a comp to be made and a joke about watching a baseball postseason game for your team that you love, and some of the things that the doctor does after you turn 40, 45 years old, and trying to figure out which is more comfortable. But DJ, we appreciate it. Good luck. We'll talk to you next week.
Oh man, that actually reminded me of that. I hope that's not coming. All right.
See ya.
Oh, it does. 50.
Goes DJ every week. Brock, we got to go. We'll be in tomorrow morning. It does sound like we will have Jason Benetti tomorrow.
Done. Booked.
Joel Klatt and his +3 handicap tomorrow. Going to join us as well.
And we get to sit back and watch it.
I know, this is going to be fun. Baseball starts in like 5 minutes. I can't wait. I'm going to go home, watch some baseball. I might fall asleep for a little while, but then I'll wake up and I'll watch more baseball. It's going to be great. We'll catch you guys tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Until then, the hay.
Barnes.
See you, everybody.
Get to the chopper!
It's been 24 years since.
The 2001 Western Division champions.
Mariners Nation, you've earned this banner.
There's no better feeling than this. We work so hard each day.
With a first-round bye in the bag. What's ahead for the AL West champion Mariners in the postseason?
It's a lot of great things ahead. I can feel it.
SeattleSports.com has the latest on the scenarios.
We're not done yet. We got a World Series to go get.
This is where you hear your AL West champion Mariners in the playoffs. Seattle Sports.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Toyota of Kirkland's service department has you covered as the summer winds down and the fall approaches. At Toyota of Kirkland, be confident in your brakes with the complimentary brake inspection. Get winter ready with a free battery health check, wiper blade installation, and multi-point inspection. Thinking of trading in? Get a complimentary vehicle appraisal. Stay ahead with the maintenance service plan at $374 plus tax. And yes, they match coupons from other local Toyota dealers. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com to schedule your service today. Drive safe, drive smart with Toyota of Kirkland.
Tune in on October 5th when your Seattle Seahawks take on Tampa Bay. Kickoff at 1:05 p.m. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, proud sponsor of the Seattle Seahawks and the biggest and best in the Pacific Northwest.
Hey man, gaining weight, dragging throughout the day, losing your drive? It could be your testosterone. The team at Revive Men's Health Washington gets men back on track with the energy and drive they've been missing. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations and witness to hundreds of success stories.
I've seen guys come in worn out, discouraged, and just not themselves. A few months into treatment, they're standing taller, speaking with more confidence. It's like watching someone come back to life, like a light switch gets turned back on. The spouse says, "Thank you, I really have my partner back, better than before." That's the moment it all clicks for me, and that's why I do what I do.
Since 2011, Revive Men's Health has helped more than 120,000 men regain their energy and drive. Start your story today with an in-clinic visit or a secure video appointment. Call 206-529-1111 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 206-529-1111 or schedule anytime at revivemenshealth.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.